Against this right back, Charlie, definitely.
People deluded. Make sure you get your Trapaholic keys, man. www.trapaholic.co.uk. Come on, man. Make sure you get it. Don't miss out. Come on. Day up. Look, it's all matching and shit. I've seen come with a black and gold one. Come on. Arsenal. People deluded. Make sure you get your Trapaholic keys.
People deluded. I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on. Good morning, folks. Hope you're all doing well and safe. Come on, 3-point collectors. Hit the like button. Like, so good. It's Monday morning. The energy levels have to rise.
You always just active when defending. I think it's like.
People deluded. I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on. Are we live? Of course we're live. People deluded. I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in. It's always appreciated. As I normally say, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. Hope you're all blessed. Hope you're all safe. Hope you and your loved ones have your health. Hope you've all started Monday strong. Hope the weekend was great. Hope last week was great. And I hope this week is better. And as usual, filled with an abundance in your personal and private lives, people. So yeah, appreciative of you lot supporting the content. Please hit the like button. 200 likes. We look at this transfer news. We've been linked with Jeremy Pino, DRB. Telemans won't go away. The dream is free. The hustle is sold separately. So we'll have to see what that's going on. Obviously, good morning if your team got 3 points apart from the Spuds. Getting 3 points isn't for everyone. Some people got shitted on by Seagulls and that. I don't know about them things. Yeah, certain man can't beat Fulham on the first game of the season. Guess it's not for everyone. I see Emre do that once upon a time. It's cool though. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good, man. It's all entertainment, man. I have to. Arsenal are going to hold their licks this season. We're not going to win everything, but we could try a thing. 23 likes already, people, after a great start. We're making progress still. We're making progress. What are you lot saying? Obviously, Arsenal won. Jesus might not have scored, but you saw him working the channels. The counter-attack, he looks lit. Zinchenko got an assist. Tierney got to show his importance. Saliba, the man of the match. Ben White pocketing Zaha, Couple brain farts from Gabriel, Ben White on the ball, and Ramsdale. And it's calm. Ramsdale made some saves. On many ways, we need to be a lot better how we played against Crystal Palace. We can't be on the ropes for that long. We was on the ropes for the best part of an hour, let's be honest. We were superb for 20 minutes. So, yeah, we need to score a bit more. We need to manage the game a bit more. Odegaard defo should have scored. Martinelli defo should have scored before he scored. Don't think we gave Jesus enough service. And I think that game did highlight what another winger and potentially a midfielder would do for us in terms of connecting with the attacking players and helping us relieve the pressure, really and truly. But, we grinded out the win. We did suffer. We got away with a clean sheet. We scored 2 goals and we got, most importantly, 3 points. We didn't start the season well enough last season. We take the positives from Crystal Palace. Leicester's a different game. They're going to be angry because they, Brendan Rodgers, rightly so, going to be angry because they dropped points from a winning position. I think you all saw Telemans look good. Dewsbury Hall, if you give him time to shoot, he will score. Madison was pulling the strings, and them games there is where you want to show your quality. You've seen Gareth Southgate kind of popping in and around the early weeks of preseason or the early game week of preseason. So I don't know why, but he doesn't rate him. But these are the games everyone's watching. It is also going to be our first game of the season at the Emirates, so it is what it is. We need to put a run of games, and I'm focused on that. The whole August, Arsenal need to take advantage of because September, October, it starts getting fugazi. Respectfully to all the teams we're playing, you can't just look at the fixture calendar list and say we're going to do this, that, and the other. But we need to have a good month. And for me, I'm focused on the first 9 points of this season. Yes, the fixtures were very different. We played a jubilant Brentford side. City and Chelsea, is always going to go either way. But 0.0 goals from 9 games was unacceptable. So I want us to get 9 points from our first 3 games and close this month strongly, really. You can't write off Fulham. You saw they gave, yes, Liverpool, Trent's gone to sleep for Mitrovic. And obviously Van Dijk has fouled someone in the box. But Fulham are going to be on it. There's no easy games in the Prem, as cliche as it sounds, man. We might not be getting you might be getting Neto. It's just talking points, bro. That's where it leaves, man. You know, probably not. But I guess you know better than us, and you know him. So yeah, man, we'll take your word on it, man. He ain't gonna fuck you though, bro. Appreciate you, Green. John, appreciate you. Morning, bro. Andrew, morning. This De Jong is full of a drama series. It really is. It's filled with hella drama, you know. Again, Barcelona are very dirty, and it just goes to show these football clubs don't give a fuck. They're very disgusting. They will say if you love the club, you'll take a wage cut. But look how they're doing De Jong. Who that was his dream move and all of that. Fair enough. Fair enough. It's so brazy. Fair enough. Let him do his thing. And yeah, it's a good day for Arsenal. Charlie Patino made his debut. Obviously, Balogun and Tavares. You've seen the video. Check it out all on socials or the video I did. You know, Balogun scored off the bench. Tavares scored a cracker and got man of the match. Patino's already got his own chant at Blackpool. It's going all right. We obviously got 3 points. Brook Norton Coffee today signed a new deal. Hopefully, you know, he can develop it. I'm not saying he has to be the finished article, but yeah. We need to see his technical level improve quite a lot as well, man. So, yeah. Sorry about this, but I'm just seeing this with Saliba. Apparently, he said to talk shy after being told of the praise he got from Martin Keown. Thank you to the legends. Sometimes we don't have thinking time. We have to react. So, I enjoy tackles. I made a big one. Fair enough, man. Big up you. What are you lot saying? Because you lot make this platform, people. As much as it's about waffling, I also enjoy you lot's talking points. Frankie de Jong at M5 is the dream. Pardon me. Dream. And that's all it is, man. You're gonna nan intro for in the intro. No clue what you said there, my guy. I hope you're well and safe. If you said anything disrespectful, suck your mum. If you didn't, apologies. Don't know what you said there. Thoughts on Diaby? A bit overrated. You know, when I say overrated, I don't mean he's not good, but 60, 70, 80 million euros. Oof, Lord have mercy. Very good technically, you know. Good left foot. Can score goals, can assist. Goals missing in some sort of games. High technical level. He's decent still. There's a lot to like about him. Still don't know why Al will never happen. I don't think anyone will ever find out. Big up DG. Watching the game again, I clocked Arsenal's biggest issue. Arteta keeps saying we can't play 100 miles per hour. Rams and our midfield are way too direct in their play at times. Need a tempo controller. I hear that. Fully fact. Big up DG. I thought Saliba did as I expected. And White did well up against my guy Zaha, facts. And you know what? Credit to White, really did well. I think Saka and Saliba did well where Ben White, obviously, you're not going to win every tackle and he's not going to make no dribbles and things like that. So, yeah, man, top performance from Ben White. Top performance from everyone, but that's where it stops. You know, it was great. Time's done now. You know, we can waffle. I believe that to the fans. You need to focus on Leicester, which is a different test. Brendan Rodgers is a fantastic manager. Leicester do have the qualities to present us with issues. They have had a shambolic pre-season. They have obviously, you know, had a shambolic start to the season, dropping points from winning positions, not being helped with what they're doing or not doing in the transfer market. Last season was tough for Brendan Rodgers. I think he might be one to be sacked or one to walk away, potentially, depending on what happens. But let's see what's going on. They're going to be angry and they're going to want to spoil our party. Simple as that. Wouldn't you? Arsenal's first game at home. They want us to go out like Man United. The market is so cooked. Even the Lissandro deal was crazy money for him. Exactly. Smith Rowe, Odegaard, depends what you want. DG, who has the highest ceiling out of Gakpo, Neto, and Diaby? I rate Gakpo highly. I mean, I don't know anything. They all could, but I think Neto could be lit. I think Diaby's got several gears to go up. And you know what? If we've done our due diligence on Gakpo, then maybe there's something in there, man. But probably that. I want to see Mikel with his arm around Telemans at full time. Arsenal fans thought we was getting Rafinha because there was that sort of stuff. Daily is very quick. Tank top settings is too hot, man. Watch us slap Leicester, then fans will waffle why we need Telemans. If we slap his team, Twitter can be frustrating. To be fair, fans have been speaking day in, day out about needing Telemans already. To be brutally honest, I'm not too sure there's a correlation, but I hear you. What else is going on in the world of football? Just before we get into the transfer news, smash the like button, people. I do think the Athletic have a couple of articles that we should speak about. Let's close that because that's not what I'm looking at. Where's my Google Docs sheet? Nothing's going on without Google Docs. Nothing, not again. Fine. Arsenal new stuff. Oh, what's going on here? Let's change the screen. Big up you lot, people. Hope you're doing well and safe. Now, obviously, we have to speak about these things. We can't. I'm never going to be someone to air it, but we got to speak about a couple of these things. Now, if we look at it firstly, banner on tackling violence against women flown over Crystal Palace versus Arsenal. Now, first thing, any decent human being, we don't condone rape, violence, anything against anyone, more so women. And I personally feel, I don't know how to formulate it, but it'd be very difficult if I was a woman in football nowadays, because you, as much as you think it's forward thinking and we're getting over some things, you're reminded that football's still in the Stone Ages, especially with a lot of football clubs, our club included, doing a lot to raise the profile of women games, putting the footballers at the forefront. We've all seen the Euro, shout to England's ladies and things, and there's many women fans who support, you know, Arsenal and many things. So when you see things surrounding certain players, and again, it's very technical. I've said everything I have to say about it, but we all saw this, you know. A banner calling for Arsenal to lead the way on tackling violence against women has been flown at tonight's game against Crystal Palace. Obviously, this was on Friday. Feminist group Level Up have teamed up with Arsenal fans who have funded the protest. They want to see the club introduce a disciplinary policy for players accused of violence. The banner read, "Kick racists off the pitch." Rightly so. Obviously, Ryan Giggs' trial has begun today for domestic violence. Benjamin Mendy's a wrong and should be killed, really. 8 counts of rape. The guy's disgusting. You've seen Mason Greenwood stuff, and you've seen images over the last 24 hours that he's been leaving his house and things like that. It's disgusting, and it's the things that you probably don't know. Apparently, a Premier League club has chosen not to suspend a player who is facing 3 allegations of rape against 2 different women. A statement from Level Up said they plan to disrupt the fanfare and demand the Premier League takes more action on a culture of impunity around sexual violence in football. But again, looking at football, much like all industries, especially male-led industries, let's be honest, yeah? You think it's just these players, these executives. Imagine you're a lady trying to become an executive. The amount of things that they have to deal with is chilling. So it's probably just worse going up the levels of all these organizations in all aspects of life, really. It's quite disgusting, really, how these things go on. And it's probably the stuff you don't hear that's probably chilling, man. As usual, we don't condone any of this. A statement from Level Up said they plan to disrupt fanfare and demand football. I already read that, sorry. The Premier League announced all players would receive mandatory sexual consent training on Thursday, while Level Up wants the league to introduce disciplinary policies. Rightly so, man, really and truly. Sexual violence is a problem, and I want Arsenal, given their importance in the Premier League, to lead the way. My daughters are becoming Arsenal fans, and I want them to be able to proudly wear our shirt. That will only be possible when our team shows it's serious about ending violence against women. To be fair, Arsenal haven't said they're not serious. We all know the player at mind, and as much as I feel a lot of what's been said, until certain things are put to light, there isn't so much the club can do. I'm not saying they couldn't have handled it better. I'm not saying any of that, but it is a techie situation, if I'm completely honest with you. So it is what it is in that regard. I just felt it was right to read that. What's this? We're definitely waiting to see. What that is. But apparently, Arsenal appoint Karen. Man, I'm acting like I can't. It's early in the morning. People want, so let me get some water. My brain is not working. Arsenal have appointed Karen Smart as their new chief operating officer. The Athletic understands. She joins from Manchester Airports Group, where she most recently worked as the company's managing director. It's understood Smart will be in a role which oversees the stadium, all facilities, IT and travel, and sits on the executive board. She left her previous role in April of this year, people. She wants to explore new career opportunities and had a desire to return to South for family reasons. Fair play. Smart joins a corporate structure at Arsenal that includes Chief Executive Officer Vinay Venkatesh, who's been at the club since 2010, and also held roles as Chief Communical Officer and Managing Director. My brain is not working. So yeah, it is what it is in that regards, people. In relation to everything else, this not these two, because that has nothing to do with us. Shout out to Twitch Gang. We spoke about that. That is for when we get to 200 likes, people. So yeah, run up the like button, people. I thought we might as well cover that very quickly and deal with the harsh stuff very quickly. Yeah, what are you lot saying, man? We won and you lot hardly have any talking points. What's going on, man? Do you think Saka is going to score against Leicester? I hope so. But as always said, I don't care how we score, who scores, just that we score, win the game. Thoughts on Gibbs White for 40 M's? Who was Everton won him? Game's gone mad. Big up DJ. I think the Neto one makes more sense because he's been in the Prem and won't need to adapt. I mean, just because you move from one Prem team to another don't mean you don't need to adapt. Look at Grealish, but I hear you. You know, we've wanted Pedro Neto since his days he was at Braga. I wanted him when he was at Lazio as well. And obviously we know what he's on against Wolves. The other day, when I say the other day, it must have been 2010. He finessed us at the Emirates, so he'd be lit. Resale value, wonder of a left foot, gives us another dimension, untapped potential there. You know, Portuguese speaker tying in what we've got, you know, gives us a lot. But again, Wolves are going to ask for a pretty penny. We probably need to get some sales gone. I don't know what's happening with Reiss Nelson and Pepe. We've been linked with him and Yeremy Pino, much like a lot of wingers. So we have to be working on it. But whether we bring someone in is a completely different matter, man. But yeah, it makes so much sense. So much sense. Almost too much sense. And when it makes a lot of sense, will it happen? I don't know. Big up, DG. No idea if you've seen the Frankie de Jong situation. Yeah, we spoke about it on Twitch in the stream just before this. What was she doing there? It's really annoying the way you people go about it. I don't know what you're talking about, but safe, my guy. Big up, my guy, DG. Sorry if you've already discussed it, but looks like Telemans will be at the carpet sooner or later, right? I don't know. Until the man signs a contract wearing the shirt, said he watched Arsenal since he's grown up. I don't know, man. Do you think Nelson is definitely out the door? Surely a good homegrown backup for Saka. All depends if there's offers. You know, his contract is up in 2023. I think he's a player the club like, a player that Arteta likes. But at the end of the day, you know, certain players might need to leave to blossom. And at the end of the day, how much football is he going to get? For Nelson, are you going to play enough games? Can you convincingly look at Arsenal and say you're going to play 20, 30 games? Can you say you're even going to get 10 starts? If you do well, then why not? Things can happen. And you could give us something. And a lot of us would like Nelson to take a chance. But you've got Smith Rowe when fit, going to end up playing there ahead of you. Martinelli's got the left-hand side. Jesus can also play out wide as well as exclusively up front. You know, Saka is there. Pepe can't buy a game, but Pepe's probably ahead of you in the pecking order, really. For me, if I was Nelson, I think you need to leave. You need to go somewhere where you're going to play week in, week out, and your future isn't volatile, where 1 minute you're going on loan, you're staying, you're leaving permanently, and all of these sort of things, really. So I wouldn't say definitely out the door, but I'm keen to see what we do with Marquinhos, who scored against United's under-21s. Pepe, apparently he's had offers, but none are good enough for him to leave. And I don't know what's going on with Reiss Nelson, really. He's got ability, but need a lot more than that. He's on the bench, so Arteta clearly favoured you, and you know it's difficult to see you playing until we get Europa League games going on the way. But didn't the Athletic say in an article a few weeks ago that he's going to be given a chance? Now, given a chance is very subjective. 76 likes, keep going, people. It's very subjective, so we have to see how that develops, man. Thoughts on Haaland? The man's sick. What other thoughts could you have on Haaland? Like Gakpo, but Neto fits the profile, my G. Agree with one of the comments. There was parts in the game where we needed someone to give and take and just keep the ball for 5 minutes. Wanted it from Odegaard, but realistically, he's too advanced, which is why we need to address the midfield, which is why I thought maybe, just maybe, we'd sign a midfielder, and I hope we do. But I definitely wanted to start the season with a midfielder and allow them to be part of preseason, which is definitely a more positive preseason than the last 2 years. You know, COVID affected one, and then obviously COVID affected beyond the obvious, affected the other one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I like Nelson, man. He's fast on the ball, nice movement. Shame if he leaves, but probably for the best. Nelly looked good on Friday. Technically, I think he can get better assists this season. His deliveries are good. I hope so. Consistency is key. Young players and in extension, young teams struggle with consistency. Arsenal need to strive to keep the high level of play in the next game. Amen. I hear that. Big up DG. We should be testing Crystal Palace's resolve for Zaha with 1 year on his contract. Enough potential signings. I mean, I would take Zaha, but how many years are you getting? And you don't want to be holding the baton when his career winds down, really. 29, you could have him for a couple of years, but we're going to have to pass the buck. DG, did you see Nuno got man of the match for Marseille? He's definitely going to cook in Liga. I hope so. And yeah, I have, man. I did a short review on Balogun's goal, Nunes' goal, and obviously Charlie Patino at Blackpool has his own chant, people. So yeah, man, doing all right. Thoughts on Martinelli, needs to refine a bit, but I like him. He's tigerish. The mentality's there. Starting to understand goals and assists. Needs to pattern the finishing, but a very good player, really and truly. I'd rather give Nelson a chance over Pepe, but I think Pepe's a better player at this moment in time. If my backs was against the wall at pause and I needed a goal or I needed some sort of brilliance, I'm going to go with someone that's done it at Arsenal. You know, whatever you say, Pepe used to save us in the second half of the season. Sometimes he's been brilliant, so I'd probably lean towards him. I'd rather Nelson get the spark and tie him with Haaland, but Pepe's definitely a better player and more vital than Nelson. If both were given 2 chances, 10 games. So yeah, they were both 2 players given 2 chances. I think Pepe stands out a lot more. I think Nelson lacks a lot of self-belief. And it kills me that he's got that, man. Kovacic would be cold. He would, man. Away from home when his team are under pressure, he can just dribble and win fouls to slow the game down or regain control. It's true, but we ain't getting no Kovacic. Hopefully we could get some with a skill set. It looks like the Fabian Ruiz one's gone. He's going PSG. Telemann's rumours are still there. Ruben Neves ones haven't been around for months and seems to have been priced out of a move. Obviously, it didn't work for Bruno Gomares last summer. And half of the midfield guys we've been linked with are gone, man. Pepe is better right now because of experience, but in my opinion, Nelson, my guy, P, I don't understand what you're saying then to go back to this, then Pepe's better than him. I'd rather give Nelson the chance. You know, I'd love to see Nelson fulfill some of his potential. You know, I don't really want to give up on him, but you've got to be cruel to be kind. Not everyone can be part of the journey that we're trying to do. You know, if you get promoted from the Championship to the Premier League, there might have been some players that have been at the club 10 years in that, but they might not be levels for the Premier League. Not everybody can flourish here. Some people have to go away to do other things. It's not one lateral way of thinking. Everyone's career is different. You got Saka, who just was that. Smith Rowe had to go on alone before it happened. Eddie had to wait a bit. Joe Willock had to wait a bit. You know, it is what it is. I think Nelson just needs a bit more self-belief. I think Nelson just needs a lot of belief. Play with your head up a bit. And I think people misunderstand Nelson. Like, he probably prefers to play off the left or in that quote-unquote 10 more than he does on the right. I like him. Hope we can get a tune out of him. I'm sure he wants to make it Arsenal, but, you know, you look at what your brethren Joe is doing, what your guy Eddie can be doing now. You know, you look at what your brethren Jadon Sancho did just by going to Dortmund. Tammy's over there playing at Roma. Minutes are currency, man. You know, and Nelson is stagnating. Just on the topic of that, how many appearances has Nelson actually made for Arsenal Football Club? 22 years of age, 23 this year. And again, hopefully he gets a new deal. But you've had little to no contact with that. And I mean, this is someone that's been on the scene for a while, 22 years of age. He's got 23 appearances and a single goal in the Premier. You remember him and Joe were the guys getting chances before Saka under Emery. People develop at different rates. I think Nelson just needs to go somewhere. He's going to play consistency, and he's got that scope to, if I don't necessarily play well, I'm not necessarily going to be dropped. But yeah, I just can't see it happening, really. You know, he's played 48 times for Arsenal Football Club. 23 times in the league. Not too many of them are 90 minutes, but we're kind of at where we're at now with him, Maitland, etc., man. Rabiot and Arnautovic at the Theatre of Dreams. Theatres of Nightmares, man. Why did no one go for Renato Sanchez over PSG? I think he's quality. I'm not too sure. What profile of right back would you go for? Well, I'd love for them to be spot on defensively, but I think they've got to be a bit different to Tomiyasu. I think Tomiyasu is a bit conservative as a right. God's meant to complement each other. Get Savage, pay the money. I wish. Theatre of Screams. I hear that. Will Zinchenko start this weekend, or is Tierney still out? I mean, Tierney came off the bench, so he might. It's a good problem for Arteta to have, man. I'd probably prefer Tierney because I think Leicester are going to be better than they were against Brentford, but I wouldn't say Zinchenko deserves to be dropped. I was watching the Palace game back. I realized we're trying to attack every time we get the ball, which harms us. Doesn't help that Ramsdale is just playing long balls up to Saka and we're losing possession. A bit harsh. I don't think it was that, but I hear you. Shout out to the New Zealanders. I hear you, man. I think I've answered this, but I hope Saka does score. Big up the nation. Shout out all the channel members as well. I appreciate that. Shout out the Twitch runs as well, because I know we was live before. 90 likes, people. 110 more, and we're moving places. We're getting somewhere. Veltman would be perfect if we wanted Tommy type right back. I hear that. So it is what it is in that regards. It was nice to obviously start the season with 3 points. Can't ask for any more. Let's see what other Arsenal news is up there. Make sure we don't miss a beat. And to be fair, on the topic of Pedro Neto, obviously Wolves have signed up another Portuguese midfielder. Could he be a replacement? I'm not too sure. Nice to see Tomiyasu got 45 minutes as we beat Manchester United on the 20 points. And to be fair, Charlie Patino's earning rave reviews. Nottingham Forest are looking at Cody Gakpo, right? Betis are looking at Alba. All the Arsenal linked FC. Marseille are basically signed Alexis Sanchez. It's crazy, people. Absolutely litness. Appreciate you lot as usual. It's fantastic you being here week in, week out, people. It's unfortunate that we already looked at Arsenal's post-game comments, or Arteta's post-game comments, but yeah. Pardon me. In fact, we might as well just look at this now, people, really and truly. What's the time? Because then we're done. Like, we're actually done with Safari. What is it? 26, 22 Athletic articles. Apart from the transfer news one, eh? Oh, and I closed that by accident. Fuck's sake. Sorry for the swearing, people. Not everything is perfect in this Athletic. What are you doing here? Because I can't lie. I was trying to hold off, but I want to read these articles myself, people. If this will load. Thank you for doing that. Here we go. 200 likes and we get into transfer news, people. Mitrovic for Golden Boot. Heard it here first. Bring Neto to the carpet. I hope Tierney gets eased in. Let him take his time, because if he gets injured again so soon, it's a wrap for him. Probably is, man. Should we see what this is, people? Again, but we've got to look at the Athletic with a pinch of salt, because they're in the pocket of the club, clearly. Arsenal sales may be easier for Edu to explain, as Kroenke's understand dead money. Of the 8 million Arsenal might ultimately receive from Fulham for goalkeeper Leno, just 3 million of it is absolutely guaranteed. The rest is contingent on Leno achieving a set number of Premier League appearances, and Fulham staying in the top flight for the next 2 seasons. So, boy, they finessed us. That figure has left many Arsenal supporters disappointed, but few can be surprised. The club are in a process of shredding players they deem surplus to requirements, and in most cases, they have struggled to get substantial fees for them. In some instances, players have even been paid to leave prematurely. Edu accepts that this has been part of the strategy. We've spoke on this before, but if you've never heard it before, try to avoid one more year with a problem inside, in the dressing room, expensive, not performing. Clean it, take it out. Even I'm sorry if you have to pay to leave is better. I know it hurts. I know it's strange. When I go to the board and say sometimes it's better to play the player to leave than to maintain them, but I consider it an investment. Sometimes people say it's expensive. I say no, it's an investment. One would imagine those conversations with the board have been difficult, but perhaps in Kroenke's, Arsenal's American owners, Edu finds a sympathy car. In his ownership of other sports, highly criticized decisions in the pursuit of sporting success. 5 years ago, the KFC-owned LA Rams tied their starting quarterback Gerard Goff down on a 4-year extension to begin in 2021. Not only had Goff helped them reach the Super Bowl the previous season, just his third in NFL, but it was also felt the league's quarterback market was about to skyrocket. The idea was to lock him down to a long-term salary that would look in relative terms affordable. Even in Premier League terms, the numbers are eye-watering. A possible $134 million, £110 over 4 years, with 57 mil of it guaranteed. 2 disappointing seasons later, however, the Rams accepted they had been wrong to commit to that enormous contract. They decided to trade you off and try to sign a quarterback. The issue in a salary cap league, as the NFL, was finding someone to take on his wages. Eventually, they traded him. So long story short, without waffling about NFL, they took an L. So that might be something. It might not even be an Edu and Arteta thing. It might be something that's being passed down as a mantra. This might be something that they're doing already, in the same way when they won the Super Bowl, they put faith in a young coach. They're putting faith in a young coach, Arteta. Of course, how you maneuver in different disciplines makes the difference, but maybe that's that. So, yeah, moving away from that. In NFL, dead money is a term used to describe money that counts against a team's salary cap, blah, blah, blah. Listen, we all know how that. Let's just get back into Arsenal. Arsenal do not have to stay under a salary cap. Sorry for hitting the mic, people. But there's financial fair play to worry about. An economy ravaged by COVID-19 pandemic to condemn with, like the Rams, they've committed to a long-term contract. They've committed to long-term contracts they've ultimately regretted. Ozil and Aubameyang being used as a case study here. When Edu sits down with the board, which includes son and father of Stan and Josh, to make a case for releasing a player from his contract prematurely or selling one at a price that appears below their market value, how much does it help his case that KSC has experienced success via similar means in the United States? That's true. There is, of course, an important contextual difference to consider. The Rams' controversial Josh trade was designed to help them win decision with a short-term goal. The Rams correctly felt they were only getting a better quarterback away from glory. Arsenal still fighting to get back to finishing in the Premier League's top four, having not played in the competition since 16-17. The Rams were in win now mode. Arsenal are in win tomorrow mode. There can be no question that Arsenal are not great sellers. Of course, the price attainable for any given player is dictated more by the market than anything else. If there is greater interest, fees increase. An auction involving multiple clubs can see a player's price skyrocket. The issue for Arsenal is simple. They've sold the wrong players at the wrong time. Their most difficult cases have been players beyond their primes. I don't think Torreira's that. Still earning high wages and underperforming. I think underperforming is the one. Consistency. It's also clear when a player's not in their plans. Leno is arguably an example. He was on a good salary with just a year left on his contract. His preference was to stay both in London and the Premier League, which heavily reduced the possible list of suitors. As you know, we've signed Matt Turner to replace him, and then Torreira has been used as a case study. He's been available for transfer and has not played for the club since July 2020. He spent the last 2 years on loan. At the moment, the most realistic buyers are Galatasaray. 200 likes and we get into the transfer news, people. Torreira is as yet undecided on their offer, but if that goes through at the sums being reported, Arsenal could sustain a loss of almost 20 million on a player signed for 26 million 4 years ago. In Edu's defense, he has largely been shredding the players the club acquired before his appointment in 2019. He believes a change in Arsenal's ability to generate revenue via the transfer market is coming. Next summer, have a look at the valuation of the players we have, the age of the group that we have, and the salaries that we have today. Now, as part of the plan, we create value in our players today. So that's true. Fair enough. I'll give you that. Marquinhos and how Mikel Arteta uses Arsenal's 21s as a proving ground for the first team. Big up Art de Roche for this article, people. I mean, we know Marquinhos scored yesterday. Marquinhos' physical strength is what stood out at Meadow Park, receiving the ball on the halfway line with a man on his back. I mean, it's easy to do it against the 18, 19, 20-year-olds, his own age, you know. I mean, this article's a bit boring. He's a left-footed inverted winger playing off the right, which could be good. He's got license to come inside and combine with the centre forwards or get shots off. But we try to have aggressive fullbacks and midfielders who support at the right times. You see Saka's goal against Palace or own goal. I know it was an own goal, but he goes on the outside, gets a cross in, and it's 2-0. Marquinhos, has the freedom to decide whether he goes inside players and then letting them know what they can do. Yeah, patience is going to be key. That information hasn't been relayed to me. I'm sure the first team will have a plan. Our job in the 21s is to be flexible and adaptable for whatever the first team needs. Hear that? I hear that. And it's nice to see Tomiyasu got a half against United. He hasn't had a pre-season, really. We're always guided by first team in terms of players coming down. And Tomiyasu was great. Even yesterday in training, his application. We had a team meeting this morning. His focus, eye contact, and body language. He's a true professional. And that's why he is where he is. As you know, he came off at halftime and he come out of it unscathed, people. So yeah, that's a bit more fitness in the legs for Marquinhos and Tomiyasu. Where Tomiyasu's concerned, I don't think both him and Kieran Tierney will start against Leicester because they're not fully fit. Tierney's clearly closer to being match fit, so there might be that. And you could argue Ben White and Zinchenko, definitely Ben White, don't deserve to be dropped. So we'll have to see how these one develop, people. Keep your opinions flowing as usual. It's always welcome, people. 200 likes. We crack on with the transfer news. We're at 128, people. So we're making progress. What do you think of the RB's teammate Florian Wirtz? A good technical player. Don't know for next Ozil, but wasn't helped with getting injured. 60 million budget to buy one or two more players. Who are you getting? Well, you might as well get Telemans over the line, and I don't think the extra 25, 30 million that's left over is going to go far to getting a winger. So they're probably that, really. Get the likes in, people. Happy Monday, DG. Hope you're all good. I am, my broski. Appreciate that. Good result and resilience shown. Let's keep this rolling. Still need 2 more signings, in my opinion. Health is wealth. Los Camden. Shout the Camdonians. Our game management really needs to improve. We should take this thing out of games for the 5 minutes sometimes, like City did against the Hammers. Is it just me, or is Rabiot very similar to McTominay? Two very different players. You know, Rabiot's got a lot of baggage, but he's actually a baller. Clearly, McTominay, to the average fan, is a good footballer, but in the grand scheme of the Premier League, he should be selling programs. He should never be, definitely not playing week in, week out for Man United. And he should, well, adverts are playing. That's my own advert on this. He definitely shouldn't be playing for Man United week in, week out. It's a tragedy. Really like Pino, DJ. It's been a while since we had a Spanish maestro at the carpet. Ten Hag's talent ID is under investigation. To be fair, he did one thingy De Jong in it. I don't know if that's going to happen, to be brutally honest. Shout out the Twitch ones as well, man. Don't move shy, Twitchies. You'll have to see what's going on, Peter. Mikel Jarabald is a decent shout. Not anymore, man. A couple of years ago, but damn, man, I don't think he can help us, really. You know, he's a good player, and I'm sure if he has a sixth season, you can sit here and say, I told you so, but 25 years of age, we're still kind of waiting, really and truly. I mean, he's Spanish. Arteta probably does know how to finesse him and that. But yeah, man, I've just not been moved by anything I've seen, really. I don't think he's that winger I kind of want. He's more of a cultured winger. When they said that we're looking for a marquee winger, they meant Marquinhos. Should we sell Granit on? Definitely not right this moment in time. Pino, Asensio, I'm happy with either. I hear that. Big up DG. We as fans can't moan about the Kroenkes no more. They have invested and lost money, and Arsenal spending isn't an issue at the moment. But like I said last season, us not getting top four isn't on the Kroenkes. You know, like you said, if you're not spending money and not investing and not doing things, we have every right to get at you. We can still not believe them regardless of what's happened, but you've got to give credit where due. Same way if a player plays poor, you're going to spend all night getting at them. If they've played well, you're going to allow them. Sorry, people, 1 second. I see on my laptop, someone's at my door. I think I have a delivery. 30 seconds. I'm lying about 30 seconds. I'll be back in a second, people. 1 second. Apologies. Get some more talking points and hit the like button, people. Still not my. Where the fuck is my away? These are violating, man. Arsenal, where is my pink shirt, man? You lot are getting a strong email and a strong phone call, man. I'm gutted, mate. I purposely haven't even released a review of my away shirt because I wanted the third shirt and that one to be released the same day. Prime Bell or Robin. Oh, Robin. You knew what he was doing. You just couldn't stop it. Man said Odegaard needs some hard food. Neto is the only good name I'm seeing. Am I the only Arsenal fan to not be totally sold on Telemans? Good player, but is he truly an upgrade? Only time will tell. I think he's a good player, and I add in there. I don't think it's one where I'm like, whoa, the midfield is transformed now. Whoa, my God, let's stand up. I don't think it's a that thing, but I do think he can add stuff. And yeah, really. I think we're all waiting for the inevitable. You know, you know what you're signing up for, Xhaka. Xhaka's not a bad player. He's not a great player. Some games are going to be better than others. Think he is someone that could be part of the squad. Don't think he's quite good enough to get to where we need to get to, starting week in, week out in midfield. Like, you look at Arsenal and Man United, the problem, a lot of the issue, there's many issues on and off the field that people are trying to improve, but it's the midfield. Xhaka and Partey is our best pivot. Some days it's amazing, some days it's not. Partey, we don't know if he's going to stay fit. Sometimes Xhaka is going to do dumb-ish. I do think Telemans is not amazing, but I think he gives us another dimension. And I just want a midfielder, man. I mean, some of you have been following me for years. I've been saying for weeks and months and years that I just want a midfielder. That's all I wanted, really. I just wanted the midfielder. I really thought we was going to have one tied up before we went off for pre-season. DG only wearing vests until his away strip gets here. I don't know about that. Pink is stuck in the supply chain. DG is jarring, man. That's what I mean. He can add to the team, but he's not a transformative midfielder we need to take us to the next level. Where are they? And when you find out, let us know, man. And that's for the football club, Techie FC plus Martinelli. We need a true 6 so we can then move Partey. Nah, bro. I'm sorry. Partey's box to box, man. 6, that's it, bro. Like, there's no moving Partey to the next level. Partey cannot help us score more goals and assists. Can Partey pass the ball? Can Partey keep it moving? Of course. Partey became a professional footballer. What has got him to this stage is because he's a powerful, composing figure. Yes, he's got technical ability. Yes, the man has a passing range, but that's not his primary job. I would like the option of 2 physical men that could go and do their thing up and down the field. But if we're talking about trying to make Partey be that connection between Odegaard and these attackers, I'm sorry, smoking budge. I'm sorry, we're smoking budge. Guimaraes is everything we needed. He was, and he was there, but I saw it go, man. We can't keep. We spilt milk now. It's gone, innit? 49 more likes, people. Sorry, but I thought I was feeling a bit peckish. I thought, let me get some fruit, man. You're gonna have to allow me. Almost dropped it. Good save. No, I totally disagree. Stuck in the 6. I'll swap Partey's position to Xhaka's. So Xhaka, you want Xhaka holding as the 6 and the most disciplined man, and Partey advancing forward, trying to connect play. Unless he's being a ball-winning midfielder, that's a myth. And even that, respectfully, bro, when Partey was bossing it as a 6 by himself last season, no one was saying that. That's a myth. Unless you sign another number 6 and there's games where we need a bit of guile, so Odegaard's in there by himself and you've got these 2 doing that, I'm here for that. But week in, week out, Partey's job is to go further forward. Myth. Anything Partey does in terms of scoring, passing, that's all an extra. You're in there to be a composing figure, to win the ball back and all of those sort of things. That's a myth. Oh. I hear that. That's a myth. But the way De Jong plays 6 is completely different. It's a receiving the ball off the centre backs, trying to progress the ball forward sort of thing. We definitely should not sell Xhaka as of yet, but we did get another card this weekend, and we need to start looking for replacements because how many cards add up? How many games was Xhaka missed? Partey won the ball back for our build-up play to the second. Yeah, but man wanting further up the field, blood. Xhaka takes too long on the ball for that. Exactly, blood. And the thing is, we're at where we're at with Xhaka. Like, this is the tune we're getting. Sometimes he could be lit. It is what it is, really. And I'm at the point now where Xhaka isn't... I don't know. Xhaka's actually done a lot better than people give him credit for. I can't judge Xhaka anymore. He's not picking himself. You know, there's got to be a reason he plays week in, week out. There's got to be a reason he's so rated on and off the field within Arsenal. Personally, I think I like his mentality. I like his experience. I like how, even when we kicked off against Crystal Palace, Odegaard's the captain. Who did you see doing the huddle? I just think that's a squad player, nothing more. You know, I don't think he's got that level. And I think it's even more reflected when Xhaka's not there. We've all sat here and said, I can't, even Xhaka's biggest haters will say, I can't lie, you know, we miss Xhaka. Respectfully, he's not a player you should be missing. And that's nothing to do with Xhaka. That's testament to the club. We shouldn't be missing these sort of players. I do think people undervalue Xhaka, and I do think people overrate it. You know, but one thing's for certain. With that midfield pivot, we're signing up for certain things. Was it good enough to get top 4 last season if we didn't bottle? Yes, but it's not dynamic enough. It's not physical enough. I do think they complement each other, but it's not to the level I want to see. And for the individual and collective stuff, you know what you're signing up for, man. Xhaka is too talented. I think you mean talented. I mean, you should be talented if you're at Arsenal Football Club, and too important in the dressing room to let him go without a quality replacement already in the squad. Amen. The only problem if he ruins 4 or 5 games a season with reds and penalties. I'll be real. When last did he get a straight red? But we're trying up for things. I miss Santi as well, bro. Xhaka is way too limited. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even say it's limited, just immobile, bro. Like, but even that. Xhaka's kind of multifunctional, even though I don't agree with it. He's played as a deep line playmaker. He has once upon a time played as a lone 6. He's played a slightly more advanced role. I'm not going to lie. The way when Zinchenko and Tierney and all these guys are playing, the way he kind of tucks in and navigates that left-hand side, I think it is good. One thing I'll give Xhaka, even if he gets collapsed, he's one of the few players I don't think are scared and overawed and all of these sort of things. But again, when you're relying on these sort of man and these lot are this important, you're going to get so far. I think that's the biggest issue Arsenal do. We take players that are not necessarily bad players. Like if I have a decent striker that's good for the squad, that he might score 10 goals a season. You like, let's just say Origi. Origi would look very different at Liverpool. Liverpool look very different if they said, okay, Origi, you're the number 9 for 20, 30 games. That's what Arsenal do. Sometimes we take squad players and rotation options. We try and make them the guys that start week in, week out, and we're kind of surprised why once in a while they're going to do a madness. But then when they do dumbish, it is what it is. Straight red in the cup. Fair enough. I know you don't rate him much, but I wouldn't mind Sander Berge here. I know it's not that I don't rate him. I just don't see what you're bringing to the table. You're a bit slow and cumbersome as well. Talented on the ball. Would have taken you, but I don't think he's developed to the level we need to see. 162 likes. Come on, you're not flirting with it. We can only hope, Tommy. I hear you, but just before I read that, you know, me personally, in life, I don't like to sit there and think days are going to be better or things are going to be better. I like to be proactive. I don't like fate, you know. People keep, I know it's preseason, the hippie juice is there, the optimism juice is still there. People are sitting there and going, oh, if we can keep people fit, if this. And you're right. But have we not seen this movie? When injuries inevitably happen, make sure you've got adequate cover. I don't want to hear it. You know, I don't care about who is injured, who's this. Bro, injuries are part and parcel of the season. Arsenal, we know we probably get dealt by fate and even harsher hand when it comes to this injury thing. So we need to maneuver accordingly. Where it comes to midfield, Arteta, if Telemans comes in, cool. That's who you're betting on. If someone don't come in, cool. You know, Xhaka's you're betting on, cool. Partey and the injuries, cool. El Nene new deal, Lokonga second season revival. I hope this is enough. But I honestly feel until you get that number 8, you're not going to see the attackers go to the next level. You know, attack is a form of defense. When you've got a winger that can hold on to the ball and win some fouls away from home, like when we was pending against Palace, or a number 8 that can dictate the tempo, that is press resistant, whether it's the Santi Cazorla or stretch the team. That's a way of defending, you know. Defending isn't just the basic things. Partey misplaced a lot of passes and invited pressure against Palace, frustrating. Exactly. And then fans were like surprised when they want Partey to be the connector and the conductor, and like really surprised when they see that he's not. That I'm not being funny. The man's 29. You can always evolve. You can always adapt. But you know what you're getting with these guys. How long has he been in the game for? Just use him for what he is, man. Moderators, please make sure we're patterning with that nonsense. Charles, they need to sort out that bot situation, especially these kinky ones. I'd leave Rabiot. He's lit, but Rabiot's got ability. It's just the mentality and all those things and the baggage. I'm not really on it. Seko Fofana could arrive at the football club if he wanted to. We need presence in midfield. Neither Granit nor Partey enforce themselves into teams. I think that's a bit harsh on Partey. And to be fair, even Xhaka. Xhaka is much better when he plays in an advanced role. He's also got leadership qualities. I mean, if that's going to be our advanced midfielder, you're signing up for certain things. We were bleeding versus big teams with Xhaka as the lone 6. Don't take me back to them dark days, my guy. I like the RB, but he isn't worth 60 M's, 45 max. Why is Partey waste? No clue what you're saying there. But when you find out what you're saying, let me know and I'll be happy to answer that. If we're trying to challenge for top 4, we should look at Xhaka how we look at El Nene. Squad settings, hear you, man. Shout my J.A. Tuds. Hope Independence Day was as lit for you as it was for me, people. Xhaka is a square peg in a round hole. To be fair, not really. To the fans, he fits what Arteta wants. In Arteta's head, or he wouldn't be playing. There's got to be a reason he plays week in, week out. You know, he fits what he wants. I've got time for Xhaka because I never have to question your mentality. I know you're on this trench shit. You know, it's just you shouldn't be in the side week in, week out. And then it would look a lot different if he's starting week in, week out. You know, you need to know some man are the 10 games a season, some man get 20, some man might get 30, but there's a couple starts and benches and that. Some man play the duration. It is what it is. You know, United and Arsenal, we had guys when we used to win titles that didn't play week in, week out, but there were certain things. And if you are going to rely on these guys, then this is the bed you're making. What up, Deej? We were dominated against Palace for at least 60% of that game. In my opinion, our midfield lost control. Should this not be an urgent priority rather than a wing? I think both are priorities, but I think midfield takes greater precedent because of the reasons we've been talking about, man. And you said it there, man. I mean, I've wanted a midfielder for years, you know. Whether it happens is another thing, man. Lovely to see you lot. You lot took a while, but now the talking points are there. It's nice to see everyone's woken up on this Monday, people. 3 players we need: centre mid, right back, and right wing. Not enough quality compared to our rivals. Xhaka should be on the bench now, not in the starting 11. Who should be the 2 midfielders and winger Arsenal should sign to reach another level? I mean, Ron's gone to PSG, but Fabian Ruiz would be there. I can't lie. I think we've gone so far. You have to get the Telemans one done. Sekou Fofana's lit. Sangare from PSV's decent. Let's go around Europe and find some dons, man. I wouldn't mind Ruben Neves. I mean, contracted until 2023. Douglas Luiz, we've scouted him. He could be a cut price thingy. I've not got on to Xhaka. You know, Xhaka was one of our best performers last season, which tells you everything. If Xhaka is a standout, if Xhaka is missed, respectfully to the guy, because nothing to do with him, this is it. Come on. If Liverpool started Origi week in, week out, and they said they miss him, and he hasn't got 20 league goals ever, this is the issue. You can't miss these guys. They should not be missed. It's more testament on the football club. He's functional in this system, but it's not the levels. I was Wenger out from 2012 because he was mediocre for too long. This season is my most optimistic I've been for a while to have a good season. I wouldn't say I'm pessimistic or optimistic. I deal with what's in front of me. I think there's reasons to be positive. I like the young players regardless of what happens, but until I can have confirmation over my football club, as much as I like them, there will be a day, by God's grace, where I'll just accept what happens. Ride the highs, accept the lows. That's how I look at it, man. Anything they do is a bonus, man. Telemans balled out yesterday. To be fair, Telemans, I hope he doesn't have a good game next Saturday, or Drewsbury Hall, or Madison and Co. To be fair, Telemans had a decent game for Leicester yesterday. He was involved with a lot of good moves by Leicester. Had a good couple of efforts, one which hit the post. Is Pjanic still at Barca? Yep. Sangare will be rubbed in the Prem. That's fouls there would be lit. Fabian Ruiz and Ruben Neves would be the ones if I could bring them through, man. We drop a lot of points due to a lack of having a progressive central guy. And I would say we're quite naive in the transition. Pjanic's probably still at Barcelona. Who's left Barcelona? In an ideal world, I can't lie, I want a left-sided centre-back, at least one centre-mid, a winger, right-back striker, but I want at least 2 more signings. We need a midfielder / winger. We're one injury away from the same thing last season in midfield. I mean, even if you sign Telemans, you will see Xhaka and Telemans, I think, and this season more than you see Partey, because I'm not betting on man being injured. Like, I want to be optimistic. I hope everyone stays fit. I hope everyone keeps improving. I hope there's no injuries. But this is a sad way to go through life. If you go through life thinking no adversity, nothing's going to go wrong, when that happens, it's peak. You need to accept that. You not be nervous and oh my God, another fly. You need to be nervous and accept that bad things happen, but it's how you deal with it. And we've seen the same old stories. Xhaka is a general contractor, handyman, average to good at most things, but not great in any one area with occasional brain fart. Fantastic way of putting it, man. Can't say anything else in that regard. You need to come and do this live stream, bro. What could I say? You said it all there, my guy. Please leave my room. Please. I know my window is open, but it's not an invitation. Bust out, man. I'm trying to focus. I'm going to let the fuck out of you if I get the chance. But yeah, staying on task, people. It's been a while since this has happened. He's strong and injury-free. Who? I don't know, man. You did say a name. I don't know who. Please, bro. That's them ugly ones as well. The greenish-looking ones. DG, you're the GOAT, bro. The hardest working, most consistent podcast. Big ratings, my brother. I'm always watching up the Arsenal smoke. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I don't know about that, but one day I can hope to live. This man wants the world. I think we're so focused on not being a soft touch at times that when momentum swings, we're too quick to shut up shop and we sacrifice midfield. Next step is to control games by holding on to the ball. Amen. How you dictate the possession in the first 10 is completely different from the last 10. I think obviously, there's moments that are an exception, but I just think we're too up and down. Like, we're either 100 miles per hour or we ain't even got the car started. And again, yes, we are young and things, but I think these are old enough. They're grown enough. They're ugly enough to kind of know things, really. I've never liked Xhaka. However, I accept him on the bench. He would be good in the dressing room also, just not starting. We need a controller in midfield, someone who can control the tempo of a game. We aren't buying another midfielder, are we? Fabian Ruiz is a dream seller, and he is going PSG allegedly. The starting lineup was our strongest. The starting lineup versus Palace was our strongest team at this point in time. It's not strong enough to close any gap to City or Liverpool. I mean, any Arsenal fan genuinely... I know some of you think we're winning leagues, but are you genuinely talking at them? And I don't know any team that's the strongest team without Kieran Tierney and Tomiyasu in it personally, but I hear that. DG, we want to control the game. In the last 10 minutes, we should carry on El Nene. He has experience. I thought El Nene would come off the bench in the last game, but it is what it is. DG, is it just me or do Arsenal fans treat Aziz like he's 23, 24 just because he failed on loan? There's no such thing as a loan failure if I think about it, you know. Yes, things might not be going well, but football, you know, no footballer is going to burst on the scene at 18 years of age and everything's just going to go right. It's like Saliba. As much as we want it to happen at 21 years of age, you're not going to boss every game you play. You're going to have bad games and things. I don't know for how they treat Miguel Aziz, but I do know that Portsmouth loan spell taught him everything. You know, it taught him what you're going to learn at 23 is where you're faster, stronger, speed or thought quicker than everyone. You went Portsmouth. Sometimes you might not be doing anything wrong in football, but the manager's not playing you, and you have to keep your head and show that maturity. And it's easier said than done. I've played at Sunday League teams, hey, Wolverhampton Abbey, bro, where you're having issues with the manager, and you're thinking, what's the point training? You're seeing shitter man than you starting before you and whatnot. But you have to keep your head and remain professional. New systems. He might have been playing well, and you know he might have actually been playing. He played shit. The manager says, you know what, my job is on the line. I can't play you again. This is the reality of football. You know, this is how your bubble's going to get burst. And I think at Arsenal, where we play a certain way, where it must be a joy to be there, this is the reality. You know, this is how quickly things can go. You're going into an environment where it's not a 23. Certain man, if they're not playing at Portsmouth, they might not be professional footballers. So you learn a lot. And that's before you talk off the field. I don't know if Miguel Aziz has family there, family went up with him, but he's probably had to learn a lot about himself as a man. You've taken this lad from London all the way to Portsmouth, you know, football, what you're training from 9 till 1 p.m. or something. What are you doing beyond that? How are you keeping yourself busy? So there's that. We all know Tavares has ability. Tavares' problem is he doesn't think. He's a free spirit. His game, you know, if he could think and he just improves with all the aspects defensively, he's a decent player for us. And the 8 million can look cheap. For me, he just needs to think like a defender. He scored a great goal. Loan report soon out. But I'm more interested in how you defended 1v1, how you stop crosses, how you communicate with your centre-backs. You're not going to do that, you know, really half the time. Big up DG. Arsenal fans need to understand that Xhaka is Arteta's type of midfielder mentally. He's here to stay, so let's just keep trusting the process. Trusting the process don't mean we can't have an opinion, though. Big up DG. Loving the love Saliba is getting, but he's always been vulnerable across the diagonal ball, as sometimes he mistimes his jump, something for him to work on. Exactly. And I just hope the guys that are waxing lyrical don't turn on the 21-year-old. Saliba, Gabriel White, who starts when Tomiyasu returns? I mean, it's Ben White's spot to lose right now, in my opinion, but on the best of days, we probably lose a lot in an attacking sense, but I think Ben White should be the odd one now. Saliba and Gabriel, until one of them looks really shaky, I think both should play. And then I'm putting Tomiyasu and Tierney back the minute they're able to play properly. Exactly. Ben White at right back is probably not our strongest team. Without squad depth, we will simply burn out and crash. Some fans, get excited and start screaming title challenge, bro. We're literally one step closer to top 4. DJ is the realest Arsenal fan channel on YouTube. I don't watch no one else anymore. Toby, I appreciate that, man. There's plenty of other good content creators, though. I appreciate that, man. I want us to kill off games like how City did yesterday. Exactly. They kill you by holding on to the ball. But again, they're players. I don't think Pep has to tell them stuff, but their players are extremely experienced and they get it. And even the young ones like Foden and whatnot, you look to the left, right, there's a bag of them. Footballers need to be able to sort things out on the field themselves. The manager's like a boxing coach. Once you step into the boxing ring, you can hear his voice, but, you know, someone is punching you. You need to deal with it yourself, sort of thing. Big up DG. Hope you had a good independence. Appreciate that, Marcus. Arsenal this season is getting me gas. Keep performing, keep the consistency, and keep winning. Let's sign Telemans, Neto, and Gakpo. I hope so, man. I hope so. The dream is free. The hustle is sold separately. Nuno Tavares just needs to realize that he's no longer kicking the ball in the pot. I hear that. Tavares scored a banger, man. But again, whether you're a wing back or not, you got to be able to defend. I don't care about going forward as much as you want. If any wing back, any fullback, no matter how, but you could be Roberto Carlos. If you can't defend, I don't want you at my club, because there's going to be games that flyboy Jogo Benito shit isn't going to bang. You're just going to need to do this trench shit. Appreciate you lot in Sierra Leone. I think Ben White should play right back for the foreseeable future till Tomiyasu earns his spot back. Tomiyasu is my gunman, but we need to keep the man competitive. I can't lie. The minute Tomiyasu is properly fit, he's Ben White. I'm sorry, my guy. But I agree with the premise, man. Apparently, beside the banger, he played very well. And that's what you want to see. That's what you want to see. Keep playing well. I don't care about little 30-second clips, because Nelson got them little 30 clips at Hoffenheim. Games I was legit watching, I would see on Twitter people waxing lyrical. Even Saliba last season. Games that weren't getting publicity, he done a lot better. So keep doing your thing, Nuno Tavares. I do think if you could just think, the best footballers think, when to go forward, when to defend, when to tuck in, when to stop the cross, I think a lot changes for you. You know, if he could just think, he's got the tools. You know, he's very much the modern fullback. So we'll have to see, man. Thoughts on Jeremy Pino interest? I mean, it's decent. You know, still waiting on that breakout season from him. But yeah, man. Who is worried about Spurs squad? Nah, man. Arsenal we need to worry about ourselves, man. And we need to exhaust everything internally before we watch other people, man. Ben White won 71% of his duels versus Saha, most duels won on the pitch. So he packed him, you know. He packed him, and people should be waxing lyrical about Ben White, because if he got savage, Arsenal fans would have been saying, oh, 50 million, He'd be all over match of the day. Everything happens. Saliba starts regardless. Ben White and Gabriel can scrap, something like that. I think Smith Rowe and Fabio Vieira could add a lot to this side. Again, yes, they can. And the players that weren't really fit, of course, it's a squad game, as we keep saying. I hope we really understand that. Stop spamming, bro. Ski, man. Stop spamming, bro. Allow me, man. Did we dodge an expensive bullet in Martinez? Probably for us, but I think Martinez did okay by United standards in the savagery at Brighton. Bit unorthodox in certain things. Probably fortunate to not have a penalty against him. You know, the yellow card he gave away, probably wanted too long on the ball, but looks all right, man. Anyone's going to look shit playing next to Maguire, and I think the true test will be him and Varane. When your midfield is shambolic, you know, as I say with Arsenal, your first attacker is Ramsdale, your first defender for us is Gabriel Jesus. They don't defend well enough from the front, like you saw in the transition for the 2 goals. The midfield's non-existent. Eriksen looks like he's on his J's day. You're only going to get so much out of Fred and McTominay consistently starting together. So your defense is going to be, on top of the bad habits they have, your defense is going to be a shambles. You're going to only be as good as what's around you, you know. Van Dijk could sign for United, and he'd make a hell of a difference, but he won't look like the Liverpool Van Dijk. He'll have moments where he gets collapsed as well, and that goes for everyone. Football's a squad game, man. And I know a lot of fans say that, but they don't truly comprehend that. Still not sold on Telemans, but the club do need someone a little bit more dynamic to come in to complement Xhaka. Give us another first-team experienced midfielder in the Prem. I hear that, man. I can't get around that sort of logic. Maguire is the issue. Neto has 5 years on his contract again, so it's going to cost a pretty penny, man. We all know we're going to get priced out of a move for that. Yeah, I'm still waiting on a lot more from Jeremy Pino, though, man. He's a lit player. I'm having him. You know, Emre can give us the same thing, but yeah, man. United have agreed a deal to sign Rabiot. Good for them, man. DG, let me know your opinion. In order to finish in top 4, we need to challenge for the league. What? DG, let me know your opinion. In order to finish in the top 4, we need to challenge for the league. I don't know about that. Like, you just need to keep trying to win every game you can. I mean, by all means, if you win as much games, then it becomes an opportunity to fall into your lap. Same way top 4 fell into our lap. If somehow in this imaginary world a title challenge did fair play, you know, you say aim for the stars in it, you know, and them things there. But focus on top 4, man. I need to know what I'm gonna get from next game, the next 5 games. I need to know what I can get for 10 games from Arsenal, from 15, you know, before I start looking at league titles. But the level of consistency you need to win a league title is different, and you need to be so good when you're at your worst. You know, Arsenal need too many things for us to, at this moment in time, to want to play amazing. So I don't know if we're challenging for leagues, man. Do you think Rems can create enough chances for Balogun? I watched them yesterday and thought they weren't very creative. They're going to have to, innit, or he's going to need to adapt. Do you have an early prediction for the Leicester game? Nope, but I hope we win. If we don't sign another profile striker, I'd like to see Moller giving it. Nope. Moller's not good enough. Nope. I hear it, but no. I'd love to be wrong because it'd be a no. He'll get savage. No. The Moller thing's dead. You know, I'm not no Haaland genius and things like that, but very few of these young players are going to bust the door and play and be first-team regulars, in my opinion. They can all have careers. I'd love to be proven wrong. I'm Haaland FC, but nah. Muller's behind Balogun and Eddie in his development, so how the hell is he going to work for us? He's getting put into the shop window, man. Would you rather come 1 point off Prem or title or 8th and win Europa League? Well, I mean, Europa League, innit? Really, it's a trophy, innit? You know, we'll forget that we finished 8th in 10 years. We'll just remember the Europa League, innit? That will live forever, man. I remember the gas went overdrive after Saliba tackled Mbappe. People need to realize he's still a youth, even though not raw. He's still not the polished project. Our first 5 should be all wins. Amen. DG, what kind of age profile would you like if we're going to bring a winger? Mid to late 20s? The younger, of course, the better. I know you're good enough, you're old enough, but personally, I like to see someone a bit older than Saka. So, yeah, 25. DG, I think Neto will be the ideal winger because he has already been in the league. Adaptation is not an issue. I mean, I hear you, but adaptation is an issue because look at Grealish. Villa and City, I know it's an anomaly, but are two very different things. I know I'm being a bit harsh, but William was Premier League proven. I hear you. You're going to hit the ground running a bit fast, but it's a fallacy. You have to adapt. Arteta might want something completely different with you. And I want to see how he gets over this injury as well. I don't think we're in for Neto, truthfully, but that's what the papers say. Pepe to Man U if they were stupid enough. Marseille seem to turn water into wine. We need to loan them. Nelson need to have to sign a new deal first. DG, were you surprised to see Waters part of the preseason squad? Not on the basis of how he's performed during the season. I think he done quite well. But yeah, in comparison to all the others that didn't get to go. But this is the funny thing about football. Take your chances, man. We still need to find our base level of performance. We're either up or down. Has to be Neto. DG, do you think we need to play El Nene Xhaka party in tough away games? Not sure if Odegaard can handle the physical game. There might be avenues. If we're not going to have the vast majority of the ball, then it could be something. DG, who's the best at taking on defenders in our squad? Saka for me, but you could actually say Pepe, to be fair. Martinelli never stops. Jesus, in fact. Brushes past, man. Jesus by default now. Pardon me. We still need 2 or 3 players, but can't lie, the bench already looking better. When Vieira, Smith Rowe said, so Vieira's so good, you said him twice, and Vieira come back, but we get your point when the injury done. Appreciate you, Khan. Big up, DG, my bro. This winger business, where are they going to play? We're going to have to sell Pepe as well, which will be hard. There's enough. I don't know for Pepe and Nelson and that, but there is scope for another winger. There's 38 Premier League games. There's bare games. Saka could be rested at times. There's defo avenues for a winger. You know, whether what that means for Marquinhos, Pepe, Nelson, I'm not too sure. And there is that elephant in the room. You know, Pepe's departure or lack of departure could have an effect on us, really and truly. And if we're not going to, obviously, if there's that rare anomaly of that guy that's got potential, then bring it through. But if we're not bringing in someone better than what we have or someone that raises the bar, then I would leave the winger stuff alone, really, and just concentrate our efforts into other things. Rated Neto for a while, but he's going to be similar to Ruben Neves. They're more than what we're willing to pay. And that's what the Prem's about, really and truly. You put the money down, you get the player. If not, you cry about on how unfair it is. I think we're at 200 likes. So with that being said, let's get into the transfer news. Just before, I actually want to see, how long is Pedro Neto under contract? 22 years of age, though. I think it's just paper talk. And he obviously did very well for Wolves in their last game. And I mean, he could play on the left, play on the right, got a wonder of a left foot, resale value at 22 years of age. We've monitored him at Wolves now to go with Lazio and Braga. So there's got to be scouting reports. We've got hella Portuguese speakers. He ripped Arsenal a couple of years ago at the Emirates. So we know what he's on. Of course, there's a lot that he needs to improve on, clearly. You know, at 22, unless you're Lionel Messi and them sort of guys, you're not going to be the finished article, man. You know, there's a good platform to build upon. You know, 11 goals, 12 assists in 93 appearances for Wolves. Wolves is the first club he's really playing significantly for. He played 3 appearances for Braga, 5 appearances for Lazio, and Wolves is where he's learning, really. And obviously, he had that injury. He's played 74 times in the Premier League, 9 goals and 10 assists. So there is something to build upon, really and truly, in that regards. There is something in Pedro Neto. But yeah, let's crack on with some of this transfer news, people. What's going on here, man? So yeah, contracted until 2027. So yeah, we all know how much of a Zanga is. You put the money down or whatever, so it's not going to happen. Torreira seems to be getting love from Gala fans. Please sign him. Get that confirmed, man. So yeah, that's Lucas Torreira, man. Enough of that. Apparently, Arsenal and Liverpool line up Yeremy Pino transfer. Liverpool need another winger. With Villarreal ready to sell winger 19 for the right price. Arsenal and Liverpool are reportedly lining up a move for Villarreal star Yeremy Pino, with the Spanish club prepared to sell at the right price, which could be something. Look, just before we carry on with this, let's see how many goals and assists you got last season, because again, they're going to want to sell to the highest bidder. Still waiting on a bit more confirmation from him. I like him a lot. He's shown that Spanish youth level. He's lit the 19-year-old 20 this month. I'm not moved yet. But by the time you're moved by him, you might not have it. I mean, 14 goals in his whole career, 9 goals in 55. For the price they're asked, it's not really going to happen, innit? 9 goals in 55 appearances in La Liga. As I said, he's 19, 14 goals and 5 assists in 77 games. He's been capped 4 times for Spain as well, getting 1 goal. So in terms of output, it's not quite there, is it? Looking at last year. But again, if Arteta knows how to develop him, he could turn lit, really. 7 goals and 4 assists in 40 last season. Probably a monitoring job, but by the time you monitor him, it is what it is, really. I mean, I hope Emre gives a good character reference. Still waiting. Like I said, I'm not really moved yet. I don't really think he definitely improves us. I definitely feel he's lit. Good 1v1 plays with his head up. Sometimes picks the wrong passes. Things you expect of a 19-year-old, he does, innit? So I don't quite think it's them 19-year-old anomalies, but if it could be done, it is what it is. He's seen as one of the stars for the future after coming through Villarreal's youth team. The club were not expecting any moves for him, and the Premier League interest has reportedly caught them by surprise. They're keen to hang on to their teen prospect, but acknowledge that English big clubs may have too much money to resist. Villarreal have become aware of interest from Arsenal and Liverpool. Now, what is interest? Interest is very subjective. Is interest we're putting bids down, or is it we're looking for wingers? So naturally, we're going to look for wingers. Like, he's going to cut, like, if man are scout in Europe last season, you're going to come across Yeremy Pino, a 19-year-old going to start in week out in Europe and whatnot, is going to draw attention. So is it a thing where there's legit interest, or are we just scouting duns, really and truly? And that's something I believe. And there's been a variety of names, Bowen, Yeremy Pino, Noah Lang, Pepe from Porto, Cody Gakpo, once upon a time Rafinha, faint links to Sane, Moussa Diaby today, and there's probably a bunch of other contrasting and different levels of profile people. Apparently, the report states that a big offer would lead to a difficult decision for the Yellow Submarine. He's got a £67 million release clause. So again, there must be some working around that, people, which could represent a huge outlay. I think 67 million is a lot for a player that, is still learning how to score goals. Again, I'd monitor him. If you could get it done, get it done. And maybe next year, there won't be the time, but there's no point bringing in wingers that are not going to get more numbers than we've already got, really and truly. So he's lit. They do have a gem and things like that, but we'll have to see what goes on. But yeah, Yeremy Pino's been linked with Arsenal. Ornstein has said, everyone will be asking, who is that winger? Well, we know they went in for Rafinha. I don't know who they're going to go for. If they do bring in a new winger, it could depend on Pepe leaving the club. I hear that. Everyone will be, oh, sorry, that's so good. I've got it twice here. On Arsenal, they want to do more business. I think they want to add a winger to what they've got. And if they manage to get someone in, I think they'll be pretty happy. There'll probably be some outgoings as well, says David Ornstein, people. Yuri Telemans is a player Arsenal like. Leicester would like to sell with only a year to go on his contract, but there's no movement on that one yet. And I think Arsenal would need to let someone go before they bring someone in. So until we see a couple of futures resolved, 236 likes, can we press towards 300? You can probably somewhat forget about Telemans. So he definitely won't be in time to play against us at the Emirates, but hopefully I's could be dotted and T's could be crossed on Saturday. Once again, an unknown English club has contacted Villarreal for Yeremy Pino. Arsenal and Liverpool were interested in the past, so there might not even be interest beyond the obvious. It might just be clickbait and them things there. Right, apparently KSC are planning to offer Edu a contract extension. So yeah, it could take up to a year. So that ties in with what he's doing. You've got Edu's partner Arteta tied down. It would make sense for the technical director, and they share the same vision and things like that. What's this? In the next few hours, Bellerin's reps will fly to London to resolve the future of the right back. There will be a key meeting with Arsenal this week. The idea is to get it as cheap as possible. Batiste is waiting. Again, Norton Coffey could go on loan this season, but he signed a new contract. First thing is resale value. I know everyone and their nan, barely people who watch that think all these young players are going to bust through. By the time he's 20, I'll be really shocked if he's not ready to have a real go at making it in Arsenal's first team. I don't think he's ready there yet in his defending, in terms of his awareness. I don't think his technical level is at this moment, but he's got a new deal. Keep developing, build on the loan spell you did at Lincoln, and things might happen. I'll be really shocked if he's not ready at 20. And, things are matching up. You might have a pathway. Cedric's going to go. Admittedly, I'd want the club to bring in a right back to fight with Tomiyasu. And you could have a new right back, Tomiyasu and Ben White, being able to play there, which could go against the right club for him, people, in that regards. Apparently, Edu is in Valencia, only 39 miles away from Villarreal. So, I mean, he seems like he's with his girl. It could be purely coincidental, but you never know in this life, people. What is this? Turkish rating. Big up the Turks. Health checks for Torreira and Mertens and Galatasaray were made this morning. So, yeah, man, hopefully there's progress in them regards. The quicker we move people on, the quicker we bring people in, people. Simple as that. What is this saying before we look at them other articles there? Link us with something else, man. So, yeah, Bellerin's reps allegedly are flying. As offers for Esteban, Paul Torres, and Danjuma have not materialized, Villarreal could cash in on Yeremy Pino. Offer will not reach his 80 million euro release clause, but it would still be a hefty amount. So this is where you have it. It seems like they're not being able to sell players. They do want to bring in Lascelles. So is there legit interest from Arsenal and other clubs, or is this just papers moving silly? I don't know, people. We're gonna have to see. Moussa Diaby has long been on Edu and Arteta's list, but Leverkusen insist they do not want to sell him this summer. It has never been an easy deal. The player was also a super popular target for Newcastle, but things haven't progressed. Feeling inside Arsenal is that they want to bring in 2 signings. From what I got, there's an advancement in 2 deals behind the scene. First, they need to sell before making signings. Fair enough. But it's all subjective. Who knows, man? Let's get to the root of this where Yeremy Pino is concerned. But we're going to need our friend Google Translate. Thank you. Or no. Resumed in terms of the market for Villarreal, blah, blah, blah. Let's scroll down. Many offers for several of their main players, Paul Torres, Esteban, and Danjuma. But the truth is that the months have passed and their offers have not arrived, which has paralyzed the transfer plan. So again, they need to sell before they can buy, and they've not been able to sell anyone. So is this where these rumors are coming from, people? Looking at the highlighted writing, the situation could turn around in the face of offers that may materialize shortly for one of their young pals, Yeremy Pino. Again, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, he's a young man starting week in, week out for Villarreal. Of course, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, and everyone else who's not listed have scouted him. Everyone's looking at everybody. It's as simple as that, you know. Apparently, a dilemma also for the footballer himself, who is happy in the club that he considers his home. He has the confidence of Emery. You're starting opportunity to build on your 4 caps. I don't know. So, yeah, I don't know. At Arsenal, there's a lot more fights. You got Smith Rowe, Martinelli, and other people on the left. On the right, you've still technically got Pepe, Saka, etc. Even Nelson, even though if we did buy you for big money, you'd be there. But anyways, away from that, Arsenal handed perfect Pedro Neto incentive after unsuccessful 13.2 million transfer bid. We tried to get him in 2017. I mean, we tried to sign Zinchenko. Hopefully, we could sign him now, people. And obviously, he did well in the 2-1 defeat to Leeds. I mean, skim reading that. We know he's a good dribbler, has lovely skills, but that's not relevant. Where's the thing? We know we missed out on Rafinha. We know he's 22 and he's got resale value. We know he can play on the left, right, Portuguese speaker. We've said it all. And this article just reiterating that. Where's the meat pause of, we know he's left-footed. Where is the rumours? Where's the Arsenal thing? We know that Wolves have got a replacement or another addition in Guedes. What's going on? Bruno Lage is not planning to weaken his attack any further after already loading out Fabio Vieira, and obviously Raul Jimenez has been injured. Arsenal already shown the cash is definitely there to spend after launching unsuccessful big money bids for Rafinha and Lisandro Martinez. Neto would be worth every penny. How much are they asking for? He is well known to the club. During the final stages of Arsene Wenger's time at the Emirates, the club allegedly launched a shock move to sign the winger. Long story short, it just says here his release clause was 17.6. We bidded 13.2, demanded and arrived to the football club. Coincidentally, Neto is an Arsenal fan. That's great, but we're hearing everything apart from where is the tangible reasons as to why my man is coming to this club. Or we could even talk. As I said, the dream is free. The hustle is sold separately. He's an Arsenal fan, something that will only work. He's a fan, so what, blood? You think Jermaine Defoe supported Spurs growing up? You think half of these men in Spurs Academy, that are Spurs fans? Come on now. It's not making sense, bro. It's not making sense. The fan thing it sounds good for the fans, us and that, but it's irrelevant to this thing. When I was a kid growing up watching English football, my favourite team was Arsenal because with Arsene Wenger, I thought besides winning trophies, they play very good football. Now I'm with Wolverhampton and I'm happy, very happy, of course. It's the best club in England right now. Fair enough. A potential move to Arsenal is all hypothetical, and at the moment, so whoever this is, man, who made this article? Ryan Taylor, you're just chatting shit then, isn't it? Really, I hear it. Arsenal set to make 60 million Moussa Diaby transfer swoop for Mikel Arteta targeting buying Leverkusen stars last signing. 60 million, I'd step away. A lit guy, got potential to be worth 60 million one day. And a year from now, things can change, but madness. You know, if you're going to spend this money, you have to be sure they break into your starting 11, in my opinion. But yeah, according to Football Insider, Arsenal, my majority people. The report says the Gunners believe the 23-year-old could complete their attack, but money could be a sticking point for negotiations. You don't play the money, then it's a myth. You know, they value him at 60 million beyond the amount we're prepared to pay. The London club were looking for a lower fee, but are willing to push the boat out to secure highly rated Diaby. The decision to go all out for the star was believed to be made before Arsenal's convincing 2-0 win against Crystal Palace. Kroenke and other senior figures at the club are reportedly hugely encouraged by Arteta's progress with the team, which could have helped sway them over. So again, no tangible reasons there per se, people. In relation to Yuri Telemans, what has been said here by David Ornstein, people. Arsenal want to do more business. I think they want to add a winger to what they've got. And if they manage to get someone in, they'll be happy. Mikel Arteta said, we are going to try. There are a few things we planned. And if we could do them, it'd be great. But now it's work with the players that we have. Any names? Not yet. Will everyone be asking who is that winger? Well, we all know they went for Rafinha. I don't know who they're going to go for. If they do bring in another winger, it could all depend on Pepe leaving the club. If that's the case, then suitors will have to emerge quickly. Yuri Telemans is a player Arsenal like. Leicester would sell with only a year on his contract, but there's no movement on that one as of yet. I think Arsenal would let someone go if they can bring someone in. So we'll have to see, man. So hopefully Pablo Mari, Torreira, Bellerin, Ainsley, Nelson, half of these guys can negotiate moves away from this football club. What's Gabriel said? Gabriel hails Saliba as the best after impressive Arsenal debut, people. For me, he's the best. He's very young. This put me off. He's very young, very promising, and a very good player. I'm so happy to play with him. He has now started in the Premier League. He was so good. The team did very well. They showed intensity. Everyone stayed together. It's very difficult to play here, but our keeper was strong. I believe in this team, and it was very good. We got a clean sheet and 3 points. And Arteta obviously bigged up Saliba. You know, we've been waffling about that. Cody Gakpo is a high-level player, Lala, who could be a good option for Arsenal, but certainly they are studying more than a single profile, and the investment will depend on the opportunities. Again, Ryan Taylor, he just made the nonsense article. We know he's on Cody Gakpo. We know he is attainable because he's reasonably priced around 30 to 35 million. You're hearing Nottingham Forest on the case. If that was one Arsenal wanted to do, then there's scope to do that. But it's important to be clear. There doesn't seem to be any names. And with a World Cup here, you know, you've got a good thing going for you at PSV. They're playing, I think, tomorrow or Wednesday against Monaco in the Champions League qualifiers. Sorry, people. Arsenal have 2 proposals from Serie A clubs on the table for Pablo Mari. Verona offering a permanent deal. Monza are pushing for a loan with an obligation to buy should they avoid relegation. Well, if you don't avoid relegation, we're going to have to deal with his contract until 2024. And at this moment in time, off the top of my head, Martinelli, Saliba, Saka are contracted until 2024, as is Pepe, as is Cedric, and as is him. So are we going to park that off for now, pick up the loan fee, you know, and hope that we, you know, with the loan fee you're going to get for Balogun going on loan, the loan fee you probably got for Tavares, the loan fees you've got for all of these players in and around the 23s and first, 21s better yet, and first team, and just add that to the kitty. Is Maria one that we're going to park off? Now, Romano said he's definitely leaving. In what capacity? Who knows? Once again, Bellerin pushing for a huge pay cut as he's desperate for Arsenal exit. I can't find it, but there was images. I don't know where he's going, but there was images of him with a Batiste. What do you call it again, man? It's escaped me. Just like luggage. Hector Bellerin wants to forego his salary of around 4.2 to cancel his Arsenal's contract a year early and join Batiste this summer. Fair play, go and do that. I'd rather us get a loan fee, but go on then. Go and live your dream. Go and do what you're doing, innit, really and truly. Arsenal are willing to sell Bellerin this summer, wanting around 8.5 million for him. I mean, we could have got serious money for him, man. That Barca were dumb enough to bid like 30 million once upon a time. We could have got money for you, money for Ainsley. It's all mad, man. The player's desperate to leave, and you know what? Is what is, you know, the club do like romance. They might say someone that's come through our academy via Barcelona, made over 200 appearances, played under Arsene Wenger, won a couple of FA Cups. You know, there's an emotional attachment with him wanting to go back to Betis as much as it's Sporting. They might say, you know what, will give you what you need. In Bellerin's case, he's clearly remained professional, where he'd be alienated in pre-season. He's barely played, but he ain't kicked up a fuss. You just want to see this put to bed now, because I'm pretty sure I speak for everyone. It's allow it now, innit? Hey, no one care for this. I'm not gonna lie. A part of me is ruthless, though. A part of me, that's the Arsene Wenger in me. A part of me is saying, forget all of that, pay the money. But then again, we probably lost this battle, because you're gonna have a big earner that's arguably, bro, he's not getting ahead of Ben White based on that game. Tomiyasu starts ahead of him. Cedric is basis of it is ahead of him. So there's 3 men that can play there ahead of you. I know we've got a 72. We got the luxury of, we had our previous captain on the bench. We had a 72 million pound man on the bench. Do we really have that luxury of Bellerin? The only thing I would say is, all right, if he cancels his contract, there's some money that is released, and you know Arsenal fans are ready to make a song and dance about save wages. Bellerin, you know, you can leave with your head held high. And once again, many years ago, Arsenal had a 15 million euro bid rejected by Portuguese side Braga for 17-year-old winger Pedro Neto. Imagine it happened. Imagine. Once again, Bellerin's reps are flying to London in the next few hours. Brook Norton Coffee has signed a new deal. It doesn't appear how long it's not been made public, but who knows, man. Apparently, former Arsenal defender, I hope it's not Gallas, has set a minimum goal target for Gabriel Jesus. I mean, off the ball, I know he didn't score, but off the ball, he was so good. I know the opening stages where he's dancing past people and he just couldn't score, and we couldn't take advantage of his lip, but he's so good, man. His mentality is pressing. You know, he works hard. He mucks in. He gets fouled. He fouls man back. He makes cheap fouls. He's stronger than given credit for. Obviously, the technical level's there. Hopefully he can start scoring goals, because everything else is dead. Sylvester says Gabriel Jesus should be aiming to score a minimum of 20 league goals. When I say that, they say that's unrealistic. It's right. It's right. You're right in that. I think he should score in the 20s. 20 goals should be his mark this season minimum. It's an interesting one, because it depends how he's asked to play, which is true, and obviously creative touch. A lot of the time he's outside the box, drifting left and right. A lot of the time on the right, but he ends up scoring a lot of goals in the box. And I want him to never stop the drifting stuff, but he's going to need to get on the end of things, which I have no doubt. His energy and dynamic with Gabriel Martinelli, with them speaking the same language, is going to have a big impact if he stays fit, because he's also someone who doesn't shy away from challenges. Sometimes you feel like he's on edge, and certainly gives 100%. I love it. So yeah, who is this? That's Reiss Nelson, who's obviously talking about Reiss Nelson. Let's spin the block for Arsenal once again. Rah, man, saying how to avoid that. It's looking mad. That was a mad tab there. What's going on here? I don't want no think pieces, man. I don't want think pieces. Aubameyang's been offered to Man United as well as Chelsea. Love it. Neto scored a banger. I mean, not Neto. Nuno scored a banger. We are linked with Neto. It's all mad. What's going on there? Let's see what Football.London has said. United have reached an agreement with Juventus for Rabiot. That's good for them. I'm not sure of the relevance that has. Milinkovic-Savic has turned down a move to Arsenal and Newcastle this season. He would be open to a move to Chelsea. Norton Coffee has signed a new deal. Pedro Neto has been compared to Cristiano Ronaldo by Ruben Diaz. Crazy. Stop showing the United team. Don't care about that. So it just seems like it's just bare think pieces. Oh, shout out Charlie for doing his thing. So yeah, it don't appear like there's anything of note, people. In fact, I might as well. Do you know what? It's only right that I show you, look, you know, the Brook Norton Coffee stuff on The Athletic. You see exactly via the article what Ornstein said. So if you look at what Ornstein said, scrolling all the way down, he spoke about the young stuff is crazy, absolutely crazy. Norton Coffee, pardon me, has signed a new contract with Arsenal. The Athletic understands. Obviously, he was entering the final 12 months, pardon me, of his deal. And like you'd imagine, everyone's interested. So it's been a great summer. He's become an under-19s championship winner. You know, he signed a new deal. And for me, after being given a taste of football at Lincoln and seeing your brethrens, obviously, I don't know what's happening with Amari at Chelsea, but you would have thought he went on loan. Flores, Patino, Ryan Ilaboso, Mika Beref, Omar Rekic, just everyone has gone out on loan. You know, if Aziz and Brook are playing 23s, I hear that, but I'd rather them leave players that are not as good as them get opportunities at 21's level to develop, and you lot be out your comfort zone. There's a lot of lessons for Brook to learn. I think a lot of conclusions were made of Balogun before he even kicked a ball, and off the basis of 6 months at Middlesbrough, and the same with Brook. If you watched it, not ready right now. But hopefully he does his thing, man. So yeah, he could leave with his head held high on a temporary basis. And then hopefully next season, you definitely hope a couple of players are involved in the tour, but you hope he can do a thing, man. So shout out Brook, man. As you know, Marcelo Flores has gone over Oviedo in Spain's second division. So that is the transfer stuff, people. Like, you hope we get a winger and a midfielder, but the dream is free. The hustle is sold separately. So yeah, big up you lot, man. That was a long one. What are you lot saying? Big up DG for the hard work. I think Milinkovic, Savic, and Gakpo would make us contenders. I don't know for this contender stuff, but I hear you. Harry Kane is better than Haaland. Listen, Jamie O'Hara, bro, he fights 14-year-olds. Enough said. Like, these lot will say, these lot have no integrity. You know, if he legitimately thinks Kane's better than Haaland, there's nothing wrong with that. But these lot are there to get engagement. That's all it is. It's clicks. You know, I think they've got close to 1 million followers on YouTube. They've got the radio. These lot just chat shit. You can imagine when Arsenal lose, they're going to go viral the most. And until Arsenal fans learn to ignore platforms that are not for us, don't respect us, or where it comes to Arsenal, everybody knows, despite Arsenal is probably the most talked about Premier League team. And if it were just judged based on football and what you're doing, we should not be. It's because the socials, it's because the engagement, it's because obviously the fan channels were the first to come out. Until we learn to ignore some of these silly platforms, it's a myth. 264 likes, people. What's going on? Unexpected higher bills due if you do not hit that like button. There's 500 of you locked in. What's going on? Just let him go to the right place on loan, which our loans have been improving. So I hope they pick the right place, man. Most players have minimal loyalty to their clubs. They shouldn't have loyalty, bro. Club fans should, bro. Loyalty is a two-way street, bro. If I'm a talented early 20-year-old and I don't know, let's just say I'm playing for a team that's mid-table, you know, let's just say I'm playing for Arsenal, like we're not qualifying for top 4, and City want me, Liverpool want me, Madrid want me, and I turn them all down at 20. Yeah, it sounds lit. But what am I going to get at 35? A handshake, a testimonial, this. Are you even going to give me a role? Loyalty's a lie, man. And the clubs know this. The clubs, a lot of these evil dons that work at clubs get to, like in Barca's case, get to hide behind the banner of the club. Do you know how much clubs do people dirty? There's a certain club in London, which not Arsenal. There's a young player, and he, you know, if I said the club, you'd know him, innit? He's not being allowed to go out on loan. He plays in the 21s. He's not being allowed to go out on loan until he signs a new deal. You see the dirty stuff people do? Did you see Arteta after the game didn't look at Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher? To be fair, Jamie Carragher somewhat remains impartial. Gary Neville just chat shit, man. So again, it's irrelevant because the same guys gassing you today will be the same guys getting on to you tomorrow. Like Arsenal need to just block out all the noise. Bit like last season, you blocked, rightly or wrongly, you know, you blocked out all the noise when we was losing. You gave new deals where maybe fans had something to say, you know. In the same way when things were going right, you should have blocked out the noise. People are going to talk. It's your job to just give them something to talk about. Hope it's more positive, but yeah, man, it is what it is in that regards. That's true, DG. Even newspapers link every player. This is why I always say I'm happy to talk about transfers. It gives us something to talk about, but it's a mad thing, bro. Don't know what type of winger we want inside forward. I think in the modern game, you've got to kind of hug the half space. You've got to still go out wide and take man on, but you've got to come closer inside. And I think you look at Sterling's development at City. You look at Salah since he's obviously become someone. The best, you know, the guys that hug the touchlines are not the most productive wingers. And if we're not bringing a winger who's going to score goals, it's brazy. Looking at Gakpo's goal, looks like he bangs from the edge of the area. He looks raw, man. He looks very raw. He looks like, I don't know if you're good or shit. You know, he looks like if he goes Dortmund or Atalanta and them sort of development clubs, they'll get a tune out of him. But the more I watch him, he looks banduli, but there are stuff to like about him. He's clearly intelligent. He loves a flick. He's got the captain band. You know, if I was him, just like with Bowen at West Ham, it's probably best to just wait this season and then move if that's what you want to do. Thoughts on Nelson's future at the club? Is looking bleak, ain't it? I want to be wrong. We need a proper left back. Zinchenko is amazing, but he's not a proper left back. We saw that last time. He can slot in Xhaka's position. We need a winger and a left back. That's the truth. Well, sorry, I already said that. Most players have minimal loyalty to their clubs, as you said, DG. The clubs have no loyalty to them. Look how Barca are happy to throw De Jong to the wolves. And you shouldn't be blindlessly loyal to for no reason to nothing. If I'm completely honest with you. Torreira left on deal. I don't think that's the case. Is it on Arsenal.com? Neto only 22, but why do they want to sell him? I don't think they want to. Everyone we're linked with seems to be an Arsenal fan hype, bro. I don't care if you supported Spurs, bro. As long as you're professional, you want to join this thing and do that. Care, man. Media are having a field day with the mystery winger hype. Amen. Pino is the best option as a direct challenger to Saka out wide. Not sure what it means for Marquinhos or other young wingers at Halen. Where is the pool going from Atletico Madrid? Not a clue. Poor Ainsley, no one seems to want him. Get your agent to do the job, bro. You got a new agent, get your agent to do the job. Or does he want to leave? Necessarily. Does he want to run down his deal? Does he believe he can get games? What does he want? I don't know. You got to remember, he's got a young pregnant girl. Does she want to give birth in London or does she want to give birth in Nottingham or does she want to give birth? Well, the Italy thing's dead. He's got a lot to think about. A bit like Nelson, but Ainsley, you always 1 minute we're turning a new corner, then we're there. You need to go somewhere else where you're gonna play consistently, where it's not a talking point like that. See if we can get Rafinha from Barca on loan registration issue settings. I would love it, man. No sentiment on players. If there's a better player available, then go out and get the guy. I hope fans don't do the scapegoating thing like last season with Xhaka, Laka, and Smith. Oh, you know how it is, man. If Maddison is up for sale rather than Telemans, should we go for him, DG? I mean, Maddison can play as an 8, but Telemans is more of a pivot man that we need, really. I'm having Maddison every day of the week, but you've got Maddison, Smith Rowe, Fabio Vieira, Odegaard, players that can play in a bunch of roles, but players primarily, if you were to say where they do the best damage, you give them, the free role. For all those saying the winger position is stacked, who we turn into if it's 1v1 versus Palace, if we're off it, there isn't quality on the bench who are likely to affect the game /result. Man. He's on the Pedro Neto on the contract until 2027, so it's going to take peas, man. And Ketia is quality. He's really stepped up his game. Jesus will help him advance further. So I hope we do a thing, but I don't know, man. DJ, I sent you something on your Twitter DM. Please check it out. What is it? Is it in my mentions or is it in? Because I don't check, because my DMs are open. I barely check the message thing, man. Get some weirdos, man. Can't lie, there's hella message request. That's a myth. That's a myth, my don. That's a myth. I can't lie to you, cause that's a myth. There's no way my focus would be too good. That's a myth. Big myth. But it's been a good weekend. A good start to the Monday for us, man. Just need to get a couple more players gone, bring a couple more in, and it could be all right. Ainsley clearly on the vibes thing. Loyalty is nothing. This is a paying job for these ballers, not a popularity contest. Exactly. The world don't, bro. Come on, this is rude. There's very few ruthless industries than it's professional sports, bro. You're the guy until you're not. Like people that have been supporting you for years, just because you're wearing something or you said something they don't agree can turn you in a hat. Everybody's your best friend when you're in form. Everybody loves you. Everyone loves them, and then Ketty, and now that results are happening, they're doing their thing. No one don't like, and as they should. No one don't like you when you're doing other things. Old photo of Bellerin apparently. Well, there you have it. Love for that. Good afternoon. Right back at you, mate. For me, I prefer Sane or Zaha. Well, Sane's dream chasing. Zaha, it looks like the bolt's left. Lupe Fiasco album. Ew. Reports are surfacing that we've offered 40 million for Pino. I mean, take it or leave it. I think that's a fair one. Probably paying a bit too much, but that's a fair one. If not, if they want more than that, then it has to be a myth, if I'm completely honest with you. And to be honest, they should be trying to fleece the most that they can out of a Premier League team. Don't forget, people, 4:30, I'm playing Football Manager on Twitch. They should be trying to fleece, as we should be, Everyone's fleecing. Where did you see that, or is it just something plucked out of the sky? I can't see anything about that. So in terms of a bid, I can't see anything about bidding, but yeah, man, we'll have to see. Let me have a little butchers. But it's killing me the amount of conclusions that are being drawn by our fans based on one game out of the 38. Bearing in mind there's 37 other games where no one can predict the future. I love the optimism, but it's like the people just stop and think about what they're saying right, at times. Zaha is too old now. We need a 25, 26 player experience, but with time to possibly get better. Got in trust in whoever they sign. Other than the early days, the transfers have been all solid. In your honest opinion, big up Islam, how many more signings do you think we need? I'm saying 2, a replacement for Xhaka and a winger to back up Saka. If in an ideal perfect world where, you know, to humor your question, you're saying I've got the P's and I can sign some guys. I don't know for names, but if I could, I would like an out-and-out left back. I would like an out-and-out right back. I would like another centre back, a bit different. You know, all of these guys are developing. If we could get someone a bit different, like how I'm not saying the Brighton defenders necessarily, but the Brighton defenders, the experience, you get it, they understand defending. If you could get one of them, I'm here for it. I'll give Matt Turner a chance, but you know, you could do a lot better, really, and there's going to be some drop off from Leno. But without talking about goalie, I'd say right back, left back, centre middle 2, and a winger. And I would monitor what we're doing. I'd try and get a winger that could score some goals, and then I would monitor a striker. If you could get a striker that could be Riggy, someone that could become a cult hero, but someone that could be brought in, why not, man? I think there is scope to bring in another striker, really. As much as I like Jesus and Eddie, I think it's a brave one. Don't slander Lupe Fiasco. I'm talking facts. He's shit, bro. Ain't no one trying to hear that, man. What, man? Bang on their headphones and listen to Lupe Fiasco. That's that drinking lean music, man. Now I'm playing. He's a good musician, but he's meaty, man. Trying to hear that? Ain't no one trying to hear that. You man just listening to him. You're them dons that listen to them sort of man. So people say, oh yeah, I understand music. You're messed. Now I'm playing, man. It's all entertainment. Javi Marquez, Spanish journalist, says both Arsenal and Liverpool have bidded 40 million for Yeremy Pina. So I hope there is legs to that. I hope there is, but they've got a financial issues. They're trying to sell players. Is, you know, local based media or a local Spanish journalist saying that it could be credibility, it could be the game, you know, really. So we're gonna have to see. He signs, he's the best in the world, man. He says Villarreal wants 60 million. I mean, they must know they're not getting that. White or Cedric when Tommy's injured, Mr. Ben White. Every day of the week, bro. Ben White with one leg, bro. A blind one, Ben White. He lost it. I don't rate Cedric one bit. I can't lie to you. You know, he seems like a trusted guy around the ground. He seems like he's going to be a manager one day, but I have to be honest. Like, I'll support him anytime he's there. I'll support any Arsenal fan, but any Arsenal player. But you know, I'm allowed to be honest. Like, there's a couple players I don't really like. There's players that I think are bad, and then there's players I don't rate. Like, I don't think Marie is good at all. Like, if he played Sunday League with us, he'll be lit. I think he could play bottom half of the Premier League. I think he could have a career in other leagues as he showed on loan. But for this Arsenal thing, I don't think he could. I don't believe in Cedric one bit. I think, you know, he does do things all right, but he's just a liability in my opinion. Like, there's a couple of them, like, really and truly. That's a fair and ideal world where we can spend all kinds of money. I do see us signing more players, especially if we make Champions League. I would say for this window, centre mid, the minimum for me. I hope a winger, but I'd say centre mid, man. I used to feel shame for listening to NBA Youngboy. Now he's calm. I've converted a little bit to listening to him, but too much of his songs make man stupid. DG always thinks Zaha's past it. For me, always a trick and gets you 100 free kicks a season. 100 free kicks a season. I got Saka for that. I didn't say he's past it. I just said it's his time to come to Arsenal's past it. If we could get him on an affordable deal at 29, there's a couple years, but the Zaha boat's gone. Like, it really is. Like, it's gone. He signed the death row contract, Phil. He shagged himself, bro. Like, it's not me. He shagged himself. He was linked with Roma and them thing there. I hope he gets the move, but he shagged himself. His Palace legend legacy status is he's got a year left on his deal, so there's never been a better time to potentially get a deal from him. You know, he's made one. In fact, has he made an appearance this season? I didn't see him turn up against Arsenal. He got bodied by a fullback that don't watch football. I hear it. Swear, say wallahi. What if I told you Zaha doesn't have 100 goals for Palace yet across these two spells and 430 games? You tell me I'm lying, wouldn't you? You would, wouldn't you? 30 mil, even that's a madness, bro. Nah, it's not a Twitch exclusive still. Whether you think I'm lying, innit? How many goals you lot think Zaha got? Semantic. Boy, in the dag. Don't get twisted. It's good stats. 83 goals, 73, but boy, 400. 98. Nah, bro. He ain't Hackney. Nah. If you know, you know. Boy, 83, boy, 60, 278. Boy, and if I'm Zaha, 29 years of age, I wouldn't turn down an Arsenal move. But at 29, my two biggest priorities are my sporting project. If he goes to Roma, example, Jose's building something lit over them sides. Length of contract. In today, at being 29, in many ways, it's probably best not to get tied down to a big contract. You can finesse. You might go MLS, but you might be trying to get the William contract, the Bandulu contract, the 3-4 years. And obviously, he's a London boy, and I'm sure he's an Arsenal fan. I'll take Zaha. I wouldn't cry if we woke up tomorrow and Zaha was signing for Arsenal. But they're short-term thinking has shagged us, though. Short-term thinking has shagged us. I would take Zaha. He makes us lit. He can play as a 10, can play up front, left, right. But would I move beyond the love? I think you love him. You love the guy a bit too much, bro. This is kind of meaty. And again, 29. You didn't, boy. Well, you could get to the 100 mark, depending on what you do. How much did you bag last year, big man? I swear you scored a respectable amount of goals last year. Yeah, you got 14 in the league. I'm taking that. Like, if Zaha signed for us, it is what it is. I'm just saying, Phil, you kind of need to let it go, bro. Like, you need to let it go, bro. You need to. He's 30 this year. The age thing, I know people get jittery around it. If the deal was done in a certain sort of way, I think there's a lot to like about Zaha. I think there's a mentality. I think he believes in himself. Loves getting rattled, but calm. But the thing is, he always has this. Like, has he gone through 2 seasons of double figures in the league? Fair enough. 11 there. All right, call you back, Zaha. I would take that, but it's not the end of the world if it doesn't happen. And then you got this. You imagine we get this, 38 games, 4 goals. The ships look like it's gone, man. It seems like Tusty's doing all right at Birmingham. Hopefully, he can make us some money, man. Thought he was their main man. Goals are not everything, but boy, is what I will say. Boy. We're just going to have to look at that one bit. Over, under on Haaland goals against Bournemouth. Hat-trick. Elise would be lit. You're going to back off the top if you sign Neto, G. Wouldn't you like to see that? Calm down, Juicy, man. It's still watershed. Calm down, man. Calm down. Chocolate darling, don't just free out like that. Chill out, man. Zaha, if he was about 30, even 30, bro, I'm trying to hear 15, early 20 regions. I can't lie to you. The Arsenal Banduli run them that 20 million over 50 years. To be fair, David Luiz was a better signing than giving credit for, but it was short-term thinking, bro. I do want a couple of players that are exceptions to the rules. Bro, if we sign Zaha, I'll be happy, but myth, man. 1 out of 4 as a winger is good, but it's 3-4 years too late. There you have it. Eze as an 8. Learn your craft as an 8 at Palace and then come true, man. I think Telemans is still on the cards and maybe Pino Diaby, but we'll need to offload a few players. Did you see both Tavares and Balogun score last night? Yep. Did a video on such. Shit, I mean, just leave Pepe at Selhurst Park, man. Let us get behind this project. I don't think anyone isn't behind this project, you know. Can we stop saying Disneyland channel statements like anyone's criticizing anything? And even if they were, everybody on this channel is allowed to have a variation of opinions. You know, I'm not going to bury my head in the negative sand or the positive sand. We're going to comment exactly on what we see and hold our hands up if we get it wrong and applaud where credit where due. But I'm not just going to scream trust the process. That's just sleepwalking into the abyss, man. We live in a day and age where I don't like the term woke, but you need to be awake more so than ever. I always say I don't tell you what to think, just think, man. I mean, because Pepe's got to want to go there, and is Pepe getting wages like he's getting elsewhere? That's probably the trickiest thing with offloading Pepe. Zaha no more than 7 mil. Should have saw if they would take Leno, because I saw the Palace signed a couple of goalies, could have intercepted that and move away. I ain't saying shit, my guy. I don't know what that is, man. But yeah, you might be trying to make man say some mazza. Big up to you if you're not. I'd happily take Zaha, but our project is based around youngers. But you still need experience, man. I'd rather Pino, Diaby, Neto could also be good, but Diaby is clear. I hear that. That's fair. Shout out to United for agreeing a fee to sign Rabiot, innit? That's good for them. Sorry, people, to make bare noise, but 300 likes. I really appreciate that, people. Without you lot, this thing would be dead. Monday morning, big ox. DG, are you doing handstand push-ups to get those mega traps? We said, I know, man. This, you get me? It's light work, man. You get me? I don't even go gym like that. It's just, you get it? Like, you're gassing me. You get me? It's just light, man. It's just light. It's just light. It's just light. It's just normal. It's just warm with it. It's just normal. You're gassing me. See, when I go gym in a couple moments, oh my days. We're slightly stacked for 8s. Are we? Xhaka, Zinchenko, Vieira. Vieira said he's a 10, though. He can play as an 8. Smith Rowe can play as an 8. Odegaard can play as an 8. But at this moment in time, are they organic 8s? Time will tell. Zinchenko, you're right, is one. You know, Xhaka's one. Quality over quantity, man, essentially. Do you see Ainsley leaving or playing for Arsenal? I would say leaving, but it seemed, and we're a long way away to the deadline day, but it don't seem like there's anything significant around him. I don't think we're stacked for that. Genetics, more genetic. Come on, man. It's like big up Benny. It's light work, man. It's light work. It's light work. It's light work, man. Me and Kalajinac, the 2 Hulks now, I'm guessing it. DG might be going to my first carnival this year. How do you get a wine off a girl? Do you ask? Wait for the right song or feel the vibe, brother Lamar, brother. Come on now, bro. Like, come on, man. Let's say, consent and that. Don't try to do that. But arcs. So what you meant to? Excuse me, can I dance? It's the 60s, bro. You just got to chance it. You just got a chance. If she looks back and you're ugly and she walks away, that's that. If she stays, she's lit, man. Like, bro, just do your thing. Just feel the vibe. Just do your thing, bro. Just, what a question. I can't answer that, bro. Yeah, you could wait for the right song, but I don't know for thingy, man. I don't know for asking. Like, can I have this dance? I don't know for that. But shout out to you. I don't know anything about that, though. I just go card and enjoy the vibes. It's been brought to my attention that certain people are watching my streams and yeah, it's all entertainment. Trust. Excuse me, and I'll just post up, bro. Identify though, like one thing I don't like about Cardi is some man. You see when you see Gally dance with their friends and or near the truck, leave them alone. Like sometimes it's an eye candy thing. Sometimes you get the look, you get it. Sometimes it's not even just Cardi. I don't know, man. Maybe not everyone's got the juice, but sometimes Gally start dance with you. Sometimes you be on your phone. Okay, it's kind of fixed. Still, I'm involved. It's calm, man. It's calm. It's calm. You got this, bro. You got this. Don't watch that. Don't watch that. Don't watch that. Don't watch this. Don't watch that. Hey, DG, I think Saliba would be a huge difference for us this season. But again, Partey injury away from things going back. I mean, I know we're doing this young project and I want to see leaders and things, and Saliba is all of that. But I think it's unfair to expect a 21-year-old. I'm not saying you are, but just to humor your question. A 21-year-old to make the difference. Same way with Saka. Saka's been a footballer for 2 minutes. Credit to Saka that this team is so vital on him, but you know what's going on. And I go back to last season's comments where Edu, I can't remember it word for word, but he kind of put the importance on Partey, Xhaka, all of these guys. And for me, it's the experienced players that got the most questions. Cedric, don't believe in him. You know, that's me anyways. Leno got dropped out, so Arteta don't believe in him like that. You know, Xhaka, calm guy, but you know what you're getting for. Partey, don't know if you're fit, don't even know if you should be kicking a football ever again if certain allegations are true. You know, Kalajinac, Ozu, Aubameyang, all these guys, there was many different things. You know, there's not El Nene calm. You kind of know what you're getting from El Nene, but you know 5 to 10 games starts max. If you start relying on El Nene when things get in the trenches, nothing to do with El Nene. He's just not levels like that. You need some experience, man. You know, I would love for these young players to just be allowed to be young players. Same way you look at Liverpool, Harvey Elliott, Fabio Carvalho, even Konate, even though he's doing well at centre-back. You look at City, Foden can be a youth. At Arsenal, Saka, big up Saka. Saka's having to grow up. He's having to move like he's won the Premier and that with us. Because if he's not on it, then we're not really on it. Be confident, man. Be confident, man. And so, hey, listen, what I would say, some of you don't think Carnival's some sexual deviant thing, you know, like, is the message stronger than that, isn't it? Just calm down, innit? Just calm down and do your thing. Shout Rochelle in the building. But be confident, my guy. I don't know for that asking thing, but do you know what? That's so left. Maybe they will. Maybe that will work for you. Shit. Good luck, my brother. Your name's Lamar, cuz you can do dirts, man. You can do dirts, man. You fed, cuz I thought Lamar Johnson, he was a tug still. I don't know, man. Shout out to Davey as well. Good morning from South Bend, Indiana. I told you 3 points in the bag, 5 games, 15 in the bag. I hope so. Saliba or Konate in 2 years. One sec, let me get my crystal ball. I don't know, bro. Like, I'm biased, Saliba thing. I don't know who Fofana and Konate and them man there are. I know my guy's playing for France, innit? Surprised no one's gone for any of Watford's attack. Ain't Delafeo gone? Surprised no one's picked up Dennis. Thought someone would take a chance on Dennis. I don't really rate Ismail Assar personally. Once again, Arsenal and Liverpool have both put an offer of 40 million on the table for Villarreal winger Jeremy Pino. However, the Spanish side wants 60. They're acting. Shout out Jordan. She's feeling it. That's that. If not, next one. It's all good. What's the time though? And that's perfect timing for me, people, because with that, obviously, let me see if there's one more question. Hey, control yourself. Bourgeois, Pino, control yourself. Twitch gang, you lot got a good rap. Control yourself. Please control yourself. I was just about to be nice and you fucked out for everyone now. Fuck everybody. Pedro Dennis is a calm attack. Nah, that's meaty, cuz. That's meaty, bro. I can't lie to you. What? Starting week in, week out, that's meaty. Don't know what Sar's going to turn up. Probably just waits for Liverpool. Dennis, lit. Pedro, lit. If Klopp wants, bring. Thoughts on the new rules for fouls? Apparently, they refs have been told to speed up play. Well, hopefully it means the ball's in play a lot more then, man. But I don't know, man, because whatever they deem a foul in one game is going to be completely different. Like, I know it's not the same, completely different, but there is kind of similarities between the penalty that Chelsea got and the one that wasn't given at United. Now, I personally think the Corey's one is a penalty and the United one isn't. But in today's day and age, you've seen that given. I know they've changed it. I don't know. All I know is they'll confuse us in it. Every week we'll watch, 12:30 might have a penalty incident. 3 o'clock kickoff has an exact identical incident. They bring out the referees to waffle to us about why that one's given and that one's not given. And we're further confused and we're just left in fuckery, really and truly. No one knows really what's going on. Well, go on, Killy. Man said Conte's a White Walker, on ability, yeah, all the other baggage is crazy, man. Big up DG, been watching you from when you was fighting off the pigeons. Appreciate that. Thoughts on Liverpool start? Well, evidently it's not the start Liverpool want, but it's not where you start, it's where you finish. The league's a marathon. If you look at all the conclusions drawn this week, Arsenal are winning the league, United and Ten Hag might as well pack up. Liverpool have lost the title. Nobody can stop Haaland, which I do think nobody will stop him. But everyone's drawing mad conclusions, really and truly. Next week, there'll be some, Haaland's the guy this week. Last week, he was a flop. Darwin scored again. So, I don't know, really, man. I've done a video on it, but, lovely to see that, Tavares has got man of the match in his debut and a goal to match. And hopefully he comes back a more confident player. Do you think REISS is signing for Arsenal, I think? Is a signing we should get? It's going to be too much. I'm not being funny. Declan Rice is good, but if he was to shop abroad, you could find someone that's a composing figure that's relatively calm on the ball and things. Man are saying 80, 150 million. I know there's British tax, but that's a madness. Gahiri's lit, bit different from Pino and Neto. He can play on the wings, but he's more an out-and-out striker. Lovely to see Gahiri's getting over his injury, though. I'll give him that. And yeah, Fabian Ruiz is getting to PSG. Fair play, man. Even Carlos Soler would be lit as well, man. Stock's kind of falling. Seemed like Barca would move to him one time, but they're not on it anymore, man. West Ham got cooked with Rice, 24% possession. Bit harsh. The whole team's going to get cooked, but yeah, man. Appreciate that. DG, looks like we're keeping REISS. What are your thoughts on it right now? Is what it is. Tied up. Make the man sign a new deal then, because if he becomes lit, how I'm not saying he's going to be player of the season, but how cliche is it that for a number of years, it's not really happened for REISS. His contract's got 6 months or so. He stays at Arsenal. For whatever reason, he gets an opportunity. Finally starts looking like this player. And then what? He's busting out for free. Tie down the man's deal. REISS, I'm not being funny. REISS looks like you can gas him. You can get same with Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Look like you can gas them to sign new deals. If I was them, I'd have kept it moving. But if they believe that they can get chances, if the manager's saying you could get chances and be patient, who am I to tell you anything different? Really and truly. So I hope they do this thing. But yeah, what's the time? With that being said, though, I can't lie to you lot. Check out the rest of the videos, people. Check out my playlist on YouTube. I'm back again at 4:30 to play FM. You know what we're doing already with 11:30s every day. With One Love Twitch gang, because we were online at 10 something and we was watching all the Premier League highlights and stuff. Appreciative to you lot who've been here, and which is literally been here for 2 hours now. Time is flying, people. So yeah, man, I'm gonna go gym quickly, gonna cut up these clips, and I'll see you lot in the afternoon. It's Monday, so let's all make sure we have a progressive week. I hope you and your loved ones remain fit, remain healthy, and them things. Gotta love you lot and leave you lot now, people. Who are your top 4 this season? Well, I don't know. Well, I hope Liverpool carry on how they left against Fulham, because it means more places are up for grabs. But you'd imagine, you know, if you had to bet real money, City and Liverpool are there. I don't want to say it, but I still think Chelsea are going to be there regardless of what people are saying pre-season. And then it's a case of Arsenal, United, Spurs, and whoever else is going on a run to fight out for that spot, really. Fourth is the battle of the inconsistent. And I do think as good as Conte's got Spurs working, they make games harder than it needs to be. They're not probably the side he wants. United, you're seeing their shambles. Arsenal, we're our best friend to our worst enemies. So these men, together with West Ham, we're all fighting for that spot in it. And Arsenal could finish as high as 4th, in my opinion, maybe 3rd, as low as 8th. So we have to be our own best friends. You know, we need to look internally and pattern up a lot of the things that we are lacking before we start looking at what other people are doing. But yeah, man, I didn't leave you hanging. That was the last question. So yeah, on that note, peace, people. Hey, hit the like button if you haven't.
There's always that active red flag defending. I think it's like